go here from the Eastern Oval.
And this is going to be an interesting competition.
Up we go against the youngster from the Darley Football Club. Conarinco won it down. Kennedy sliding in for the Devils. Couldn't quite find the football. Big tackle applied there by our man Mika. And in the end, Mika Ramos might get a ball up here, and we do, in between the half, forward 9 and the centre of the Eastern Oval.
Bathed in beautiful sunshine.
Sun has returned. Conarinco tried to take it out of the right. Couldn't quite get boot to ball. Ball still alive. Spills out. Carrick tried to go up to deck. Couldn't quite get foot the ball. Thornton sends the ball inside 50. Cullen comes at the meter for the Devils. He got the boundary lines in front of him once. Got boot to ball. Dribbling kick towards Kennedy. And in the end, it's gone out of play. And we'll get a ball in between the half-forward line, centre wing broadcast side, Barry Ag.
Yes, it's not surprising that the ball's been in the pointers forward 50
metres. Got quite a strong breeze advantage towards the Peel Street end of the ground, back underway. Want it down. Mika goes once, goes twice, couldn't quite find a man. Baker's hand was partially smothered, still alive. Coming through there is Evans. Was looking for Kennedy with a little slick hand pass, just a bit too hot for him and out of play.
Was it over? Or more for Carrick, did you think?
Either way, the ball was triggered out of play, and we will get a ball in. Now, more towards the half-forward flank. Fenton and Conarinco doing battle in the right. Conarinco, of course, with plenty of experience, will try to lead the way for the Points today. Ball near the ruckman touch. McDougall, who was impressive last week, tries to go for the football there. Baker went to ground without it. Umpire waves play on. Ball inside 50 now for the Pointers. Here comes through Brown. Tucked the head underneath. Did he get one high? Umpire says he tried to take him on and he's gone holding the ball. Tough one to adjudicate, that one, Barry Ag.
Well, it was, but... he
was the only man in my book that actually wanted the football on that occasion, and he was pinned.
But the umpires, let a blatant free kick against Conarinco go in the last boundary throw in. But
Kennedy's kick is only found by the Thornton on the centre wing broadcast side. His kick inside, he found Matthew Johnston. Too far at the score, he's going to send one inside 50 with a long bomb.
Not with the bruise, mate.
To the loose man at the back, Harvey couldn't quite bring it down. Still alive inside 50, going once again. Quick snap is good, and it's a goal. And it's gone the way. It looks like McDougall getting the opening goal here in the opening minutes here on in the Ballarat Football League's match between East Point and Darley. Bison McDougall continuing on his good form from last week with the opening here at the 2-minute mark to get the perfect start for East Point. Just nice little sharp stuff around the body. And, of course, I think the last time we were here for broadcast, Barry Ag, if I'm not mistaken, that very man kicked a big bag of 10. Am I correct in saying that?
Look. We were mentioning before that we thought that Alzheimer's was contagious because you caught my Alzheimer's, but from memory I think you're spot on, mate.
I believe the term I used was dementia, not Alzheimer's.
Dementia was it, not Alzheimer's. Yeah.
See, you've forgotten what I said, Barry, because we're back underway here. Kenny's quick kick thing went into the middle of the ground still.
That's why I've got my name painted on my forehead.
Come through was Payne, couldn't quite win the football there for East Point. Johnston diving in as well. Ball trying to be willed for there, but it looks like it might be Simmons in there for the Pointers. In the end, Conarinco applies a big tackle, and we'll get a ball this time in between the centre of the Eastern Oval and centre half forward position.
And I was going to mention that I thought, we're about 4 minutes into the game. The Darley defence has been standing up extremely well. Conarinco
wins this one down. Carrick got boot to ball. Man in front. Umpire said, well, he did say, no, he's wave play on now. Big confusion there. I think he paid the mark there to Spiteri. And he thought it hadn't gone the required journey. In the end, it's going to be balled up. Umpire giving him a little bit of leeway from the contest. Centre forward position now here for the Darley Football Club. Umpire throws it in the air. Conarinco once again convincingly wins it down. Coming through is our man Mika. But he's only knocked as far as Kennedy. He tried to go off the deck. Couldn't get quite clean kick to it. And then it was socked by an East Point player coming through and gone out of play.
That was the contest that I was going to be very, very interested in watching. Conarinco and Kerr, but why they've got Kerr on the back? He looks as though he's coming down on the back, coming on the ground now. Why they haven't got him on the ground straight away got me.
Back on the way, ball flows at the back. Page coming through, couldn't quite win the football on that occasion. Still alive.
Into it again.
Yeah, second and third effort was good. Yes. Baker on the bottom of the pack there did well. Tried to slap it forward, just bounced off the knee of his direct opponent. Trying to go off the deck there was East Point, and then trying to go there.
Oh, well done, Kennedy.
And he follows it up well for the Devils. And there's McDougall once again. Bilney at the bottom of this pack once again. Stood up in the tackle. Umpire give him some leeway. Bilney hacks it off the deck. Bit of scrappy football in the wet conditions. Simmons tried to get a quick kick. Partially smothered ball going towards centre forward. Atavi goes hard. And there now is Johnston. Got the hands free. Missed the man. Now Carrick. Flicking hand pass. Out of mid-air was good there by Thornton, trying to gain a little bit of distance. East Point player down off the contest. Leonard's going to be tackled and hold the ball. Free kick going the way of East Point.
Who's that young fella, mate? 29.
That's Nelberg, and he's going to go over the top to our man Mika. Slip through the fingertips, got enough time. Got to try to strike the tackle and does. Gets the handball to Simmons. Once again, his kick is partially smothered inside 50. Leonard just trying to body line the football there. Darley trying desperately clear here through Delahaye. Flicking a hand pass in the McDonald direction. It was at his feet. Tough one to handle. Ball still alive inside 50. Hack kick coming from McDonald. In front here's Herring. Going to be brought to ground by Mika. Ball spills free just. Devils try to clear through Carrick. Spearing ball out of the fence. And once again, it'll come straight back through East Point. Handball at the top looking there for Kodorenko. Hacked it out minute on the opposite boot. Inside 50 it goes. Going about 35 metres or so and deep into the pocket. And it goes out of play.
Now, was that Carrick that touch that ball? No, it wasn't Carrick, but I thought if you had to let it go, it was out on the full.
It could have been very close, Barry. Could have been very close. It was around 35 from goal.
Better to be sure than sorry, isn't it?
Our man on red owning trade, Josh, is saying no, that was far too far in, and the ball's going to be brought back into the field of play.
Who am I to argue with
Alice
Joshy?
won it down straight to McDougall. He's already got one, Barry. Snap is on goal, and he's got two.
You could have said from the time that left his boot, he's already got two.
Great finish in front of the big sticks for there. He's in a good patch of form at the moment. Barry Aggs moved up to 21 goals in the season so far to date in season 2018. In the opening 6 minutes, he has two, Barry Agg.
Now, owing to the fact that I've been handed the scoring details today,
yes,
I hope he's the only one I've got it right.
Yeah, it'll be very nice for you, Barry Agg. It'll be a very easy day at the office here at the Eastern Oval. 6.5 minutes have played. 2 goals to Bryce McDougall, 2 goals straight, 12 leads to 0.
So having a look at the big Southern Cross flag on top of the Macca's building, what do you reckon, mate? 4 goals?
I'd say it could be 4 or 5 goal breeze. The umpire says incorrect disposal coming from that goal kick of McDougall, and it'll pay advantage for Darley. They go towards the half-forward. Inglis trying to body line the football there. Tongues with him. Carrick going through in Tongue with a big tackle applied. East Point will try to move forward once again. Kick coming out the fence, so it's going to be marked by Reese Ellis.
Yep.
Ellis. Short kick's a good one. Mark should be taken by Herring and is. Looks across. Decides he can go longer, but he's kicked into the man of the mark.
There's been a lot of that already so far.
Here's Brown. Brown intercept, sends a wobbly one inside 50, looking for Whittaker. Atavi's down there. Whittaker goes off the deck. Smart little keeping the ball going. Off the ground, Atavi will do soccer throw. A bit too easy for the Pointers at the moment. Joel Atavi back in the lineup this week after some VFL duties last week. And the number 32 soccers at home for his opening goal of the day. There you go, East Point absolutely dominant here at the moment. We thought if they were, Barry, you said in the pre-game, they were kicking to the Peel Street and the eastern end of the ground. They could get away from Darley and could be all she wrote in the early stages. And it's looking that way after 8 minutes of football, 3 goals straight, 18-0.
But strange, the Darley defence had held them out for 4 minutes, and in the last 4 minutes they've kicked 3 goals.
That's all they need, those, the East Point.
Exactly.
Kerr in the ruck for Devils wins it down on this occasion. Nesta coming off the win, didn't quite win the football on this occasion, but East Point keep wheeling it forward. In the hands now, Taylor's outside the foot kick was clever. Didn't go the required journey to Brown. He's trying to square one up. Didn't quite find a target. Mika going without it. Dalberg try to keep the ball going forward. Alice, as you said, did well. Carson will arrive there for the Pointers. The defender tried to knock it forward but couldn't quite find a man. Ball alive and still in the half-forward line for the Pointers. They're just trying to wheel it inside 50. Evans threw the head back. Umpire says he incorrectly disposed of the football, holding the ball. Free kick going the way of the the Pointers.
And not being overly critical, but he's a player that hasn't come on as far as
Lovick has to be pinpoint with a kick. Kerr got a fist in there. Ball alive, still inside 54 East Point. Cullen got boot to ball. Hack kick out the fence.
Jakey
bounced at his feet. Tough one for the big man to handle. Darley trying to clear the fence. Bit of composure going to need to be shown. Spearing kick, and is it a mark taken on the outside? Looks like it is.
Free kick, 1 or 2.
Sliding in there. Looks like it is. It's like Stone or Herring on the outside. It looks like it's Herring sliding and taking the mark. Looking for Kennedy, but over his head with the kick. Devil's got, the Pointers number to the back. Here is Tongue, spearing ball. Found his way to Lovick, and he sends a high ball out of the fence. Alice plonks himself around this one. Johnston did well at the top to get a fist in there, knock it towards the boundary line, and in the end the ball has gone out of play, and we'll get a ball
asked
in.
for the question. And
They won't get it, Barry Ag, on the other side.
No, they asked, which is good. But I was going to say Evans hasn't come up this year as what I thought he would have done.
He was very terrific last year in their premiership season, but it's a fair assessment there from Barry Ag here on 979 FM. We're back underway at the 10-minute mark. East Point continuing to wheel the ball forward towards the much favoured Peel Street end. They are 3 goals straight, 18 leading to the Darley Devils nothing. As we'll get a ball up on the half-forward flank here. But on the other side.
If we're any good judges, they're still about 2 goals shy of what they should have.
Quick kick coming forward by Lovick inside 50. First one to get there should be Johnston, but it just went between his fingertips and out of play, and we'll get a ball in now truly on the half-forward flank, right from the new electronic scoreboard here at the Eastern Oval on the other side.
Which is working extremely well now.
Yes, working.
Had a few little gremlins.
That's fine. It's working fine now, though. The young fellow over there, he's pretty happy himself too. He's thinking, look at me, look like I can brew juice on a daily basis. And he gave the ball to Johnston. He sends it to the tip of the goal square. Tarving's juggling.
Be a mark,
umpire didn't pay it. Still alive. Cullen trying to get desperately back to knock it through. And Joel Tarvey, I reckon you have a good question to ask there.
Yep.
I think you had a few bites of the cherry. Umpire said you didn't hold it enough. Rush behind has been conceded. 3 goals, 1-19. East Point lead 0.
You've only got to have a look at a number of horrible kicks that have occurred today. That ball's obviously very slippery.
Yes, and Page is going to go short. He's got McDonald deep in his defensive right back bucket.
And talking of slippery too, good to see Stephen Kennedy is wearing sleeves today, which I thought would have been mandatory.
High ball, English at the bottom of the pack, went without a tongue, bust his way through. Daniel Tongue sends it inside 50. Atavi's the back, too big. Second grab, couldn't bring it down. Dal Hayes there once again to rush it through for a line score. 3-2-20. East Point lead, Darley 0. Yet to score here after 12 minutes of football in the opening term at the Eastern Oval.
And as we all, I don't know, is that breeze? That flag looks as though it's fluttering better now, doesn't it?
I think it's getting a little bit stronger out there, Barry, favouring that end of the ground. High ball coming in the fence. Alice, 1-2, second grab, couldn't quite bring it down. Tongue tried to get boot to ball, and in the end he came with the outside the boot and gone out on the full free kick to the Devils deep inside defensive 50 for them. Story of the tale so far, 2 goals to Bison McDougall in the early stage, as well as one to Joel Tarvey after 12.5 minutes football here on BFL Game of the Round 979 FM.
And my horrible thing. Players should not have to jump the bloody fence to get a football.
Yes, it's only going to take one incident, Barry Ag, where it all goes to shame. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Player safety comes first, especially when you're wearing studs. You know, it's very easy to slip on the gravel.
And on a day like today,
where it's wet. As we're back on the way, Grey Skies fields the Eastern over. High ball in the Alice direction. He started well for the Devils, and he goes well for the second effort there. Flicks out the hand pass.
Play.
Found a teammate whose underground hand pass from Spiteri was towards the boundary line, and in the end we'll get a ball in between centre wing, broadcast side, and the half-forward flank for East Point. 20 points they lead at the moment on BFL Game of the Round 979 FM. And we'll get the ball back underway. Be Kerr and Kolorenko doing battle in the ruck. Over the back, the ball flies.
Only got to see how strong the wind is the way it took.
Caught that
Kolorenko!
one. Left foot kick out the pack. Atavi tried to bring it down the mark. Umpire said he couldn't complete it. Cullen gave it to Delahaye. Was stripped of it. Incorrect disposal in my book. And the umpire agrees with me holding the ball. Free kick going the way of East Point. And looks like it's Matthew Johnson's tucked up against the boundary line here.
Another one of their boom recruits.
Come across from North Ballarat City from last year. Of course, has spent a lot of time in the Roosters. Kick around the body. She's pretty
beautiful.
Good. It's pretty good, John. I like it. And it's a goal. And the first 4 opening goals after 14 minutes has gone the way of East Point. Now Matthew Johnston getting on the board at the 14-minute mark. 4-2-26. They lead to yet to score Darley Football Club here at the Eastern Oval.
And because they're kicking into a fairly strong, not breeze, but wind, the ball has not spent very much time in the Darley forward line at all, has it?
Not at all, Barry. It's been very much played a game 1/2 at the moment.
Here we go again. One other part of the puzzle. It's now starting to rain again.
As a little drizzle falls here at the Eastern Oval.
As the cameraman outside hurriedly gets his wet with the gear out.
Yes. Well, I think you should have started with it, I would have thought, Barry Ag, and what's been very cold and wet, and at times a ray of sunshine has popped through, but it is cold and wet here at the Eastern Oval.
Knockdown.
And we're back underway here.
McDougall,
No.
I think.
Quick kick coming in there from Cullen. Bouncing ball towards the half-forward flank. East Point just try to wheel it forward. Devils got some numbers here. Ankrum goes without it. Mika Rononis go to a teammate. Quick kick coming from Carson underground towards McDougall, which has gone towards the boundary line, and we'll get a ball in. Again, in between centre wing and the half-forward flank. Towards East Point's attacking end, which is, of course, the Peel Street end, the eastern end of the ground. And we'll get a ball back into the field of play. Watch the breeze catch this once again, you imagine.
Yep, has.
And
done.
has no ruckman able to touch it, just trying to assess conditions at the moment. Both ruckmen get their positioning right. Carrick trying to slide in front of Thornton. Did all right. Quick kick coming from Evans, trying to gain some territory.
Oh,
East
well
Point
done,
with the
Harley. Well done.
East Point at the numbers, but the quick kick from Inglis was good to gain a little bit of territory, but the numbers do prevail. In the hands of Dalberg on the outside for East Point. Spearing ball will go inside 50. Tough one to deal with.
Oh,
but Johnston did so
well.
well. He gave it to Thornton. He can assess his options from 50. Sends the high ball to the tip of the goal square. McDougall flies high. Couldn't quite bring it down. Devils trying to scramble back to clear, and they do.
Oh, excellent.
And it was Evans who did well. Spearing ball of defence has to be pinpointing the page. It wasn't. Jordan Johnson deep in the pocket. Snaps around the body towards the hot spot. Umpire says it was touched.
I was just going to
Tough
say.
one. Tough one
I
for
thought
Leonard
it
to
was
do,
touched.
and the veteran defender of the Darley Football Club is brought to ground, and we'll get a ball up. About 25 out, pretty much directly in front of goal for East Point, who are 4-2-26, leading the way after 16 minutes of football here on BFL Game of the Round. Back underway. Kerr was able to win it down. Coming through was Taylor, slapping it towards the goal square. Alice's kick was smothered, still in defensive 50 for the Devils, and deep in their almost defensive goal square, and we'll get a ball up once again at the 16.5 minute mark of the opening term here on BFL Game of the Round 979 FM. We're back underway. Neutrally one down. Coming through there was our man Mika, but he couldn't quite get the football. Umpire is circling. Darley want a free kick, and they're not going to get it. We'll get another ball up. We have a 9-7-9 thirdly ball up in the same position, about 15 or 20 metres out from goal.
A little bit of niggle in the game too already,
And one
which
way
I couldn't understand.
at the moment, it's all one-way traffic. Neither ruckman could touch it. There's been a block, free kick, and it's going the other way of the Pointers. Appeals for the free kick was from Brad Whitaker, and he got the free kick. And he's directly in front, and he can go back to make it 5. The first 5 opening goals going the way of the Pointers. Whitaker comes in from directly in front, and he makes no mistake here at the Eastern Oval.
Yes, he made the goal umpire work.
But it's 5. But it still went through the big sticks. 5-2-32. East Point dominant at the moment here in the opening term. Even though they've got a quite strong breeze, Barriag, it's still the perfect starting because exactly what Jakey Bridges would have been after.
It's sort of what we thought wasn't it? We thought maybe a 5 to 6 goal breeze.
Yep.
It's just showing you everybody how good we are.
We sometimes get it right.
Not often.
Not often, but when we do, we're most certain the listeners know all about it. You're not going to know all about it. Kodorenko's only ruckman allowed to fly and bashes it forward a good 15 to 20 metres, trying to gain some territory. Darley under all sorts of siege there. McConaughey coming through, applying a good tackle for the Pointers, and we'll get a ball up in between the half-forward line and centre wing on the broadcast side once again. Stone on the bottom of the back there for the Devils.
About getting it right. After the ball up, Kodorenko.
One down once again, Simmons. Tried to spin out of that one, couldn't quite find the ball. Kennedy's quick kick's going to go close to the boundary line, and it's going to go too long, and it's going to go out on the full free kick away the Pointers.
Self-praise is no recommendation, but if it's all we get, we're going to go for it.
Carson called the play on. He's going to send it inside 50 towards the last goal kick, and Whitaker got 2 to beat. Ball hits the deck where the Crummers. Brown tried to go off the deck, couldn't quite win the football for the Pointers. Cullens once again wrapped up between by a couple of East Point players, but got 3
well
this time.
Done, son.
Got it to Evans. Then he goes again, and the bandaged man is taken over the line. We'll get a ball in on the half-forward line.
And the man with the unusual haircut. Hairstyle.
Yeah, self-preservation.
No.
We're going into the game. And we'll get a ball in.
No, I meant the boundary umpire.
Boundary umpire.
With his unusual hairstyle.
Nice. Okay. Back on the way here on BFL going around. Salmon's wrong side for him, got his right foot to ball. McDougall's in a good spot. The wind caught that expertly. And in the end, he probably should have swallowed it, Bryson, but he didn't take the mark. But slipped through his fingertips and gone out of play. As we approach time on in the opening term, 5-32. East Point lead to Darley's yet to score. As we'll get the ball back into the field of play. Kerr probably won this one down for the Devils. Johnston tuck up against the boundary line. Matty Johnson around the body near side. minus score to him, 5-3-33.
Not a bad effort, though.
Around the body there. He's already kicked one marvellous goal around the body, but that one was just to the near side. 5-3-33, East Point lead to Darley, who are yet to score here as we have now taken the time on, and the rain has just started to sprinkle a little bit heavier here at the Eastern Oval.
It's not a drizzle, it's raining now, isn't it?
Page to do the kicking in duties. We'll go towards the outer side on this occasion.
The breeze. Held up, though.
Won't get out of the 50. Tough one to clear. Kennedy was going to be confronted by Jordan Johnston, brought to ground, and umpire says, I will ball it out. We're about 40 out from defensive goals for the Devils, who desperately just need to find a way to get their hands on the football at the moment, Barrag, to slow the game down.
5 goals kicked, probably 24 minutes, you reckon?
Like you would say, there wouldn't be a hell of a lot of stoppage time. Quick kick, Whitaker, try to get boot to ball. Delahaye, try to flick it out. Around the body goes Johnson to tip the goal square. Got a fist in there, was Alice for the Devils. And it should be locked up once again at the top of the goal square here. And at the attacking end for East Point. And we'll get a ball up. Umpire gets us back underway. Whitaker wins it down, looking for a crummer. Devils trying to clear Alice in there once again and gets boot to ball on this occasion. Dribbling ball out of the fence. Inglis slapped it straight to an East Point player though. 50 out from goal in the hands of his teammate. Now Payne. Around the body goes Payne. It's a pretty good finish, I reckon. 6 opening goals coming the way of East Point. 6-3-39. Darley get the score, and that one was Jordan Payne just around the body. Beautiful finish. And their perfect start just keeps on getting better at Barriag.
Exactly, and as they're saying out in the field, don't be a pain, Geordie.
That's poor, Barriag.
Yeah.
You're best on last week, and that kind of stuff doesn't get you repeat effort.
Yep, okay. I'm going to get dropped next week, please.
Yeah, well,
please.
Unlucky our man Trevor Four, who's missing this afternoon. You might want how to get back in to the commentary box from what I'm hearing. Back underway. Kodarenko won this one down once again. Robertson off the square, couldn't quite find the football. Stratton gets the ball towards half-court flank.
Nice pass.
Mark is taken. Spiteri, they can go inside 50 now to Edwards. 45 from goal. Tries to unload a dribbling kick towards the goal face, and in the end, it's going to continue to wobble and go out of play. And we'll go ball inside 50, but an opportunity for the Devils to finally lock it in there.
Did one of my tricks. Dribble too much.
Too much dribble.
Yep. From
our man, Jakey Edwards, who still owes me a bag of 10 from, I believe.
Well, he does from a game at Rec Reserve. And
it looks like...
And doesn't he look resplendent in his nice new white boots too?
It looks like Luther Baker's going to go in the ruck here, the little man against Kodarenko. So Kodarenko was easily able to win it down. Hanson went without it. And in the end, they might be able to lock it up inside 50, and they do.
Without any opposition, I thought Paul probably should have done better with that one.
He should have. I think he's if they go with no ruckman again, which they sort of have. Hanson tried to engage. Johnston will get the clearance. Risky kick across the face of goal. Strange option by Matty Johnston occasion. Off the deck goes Robson, and a goal against the flow of play is coming from Robson. A strange kick from Matty Johnston around the body has resulted in a soccer off the deck from Daniel Robson to get the opening goal for the Devils. One that, of course, they desperately needed, and one against the Breeze. 6-3-39, East Point lead Darley. 1 goal straight, 6 after 23 minutes of football.
In the overall scheme of things, mate, what would you put that down? 3 goals?
Yeah, in some circumstances you could say that, but nevertheless, scoreboard pressure is still going the way of the pointers. Exactly, we are approaching quarter time here. Robson back in the lineup, soccers off the deck, and gets a major here on BFL Game of the Round. Back underway, Kodarenko once again convincingly winning the ball down near the ruck. He's only touched his hand. Dodgy looking handball coming from Leicester.
Exactly.
Tongue spun out of this one, sends a wobbly ball to centre forward, and the captain of the Devils, and Shane Page. Wheels around, comes broadcast side. And look at the Breeze catch that one. Yep. Kick didn't actually look too bad the boot, but they just got caught up in that strong gale at the moment, which is
that's probably one of the few things that I think the Darley players have done. They've been kicking it high rather than trying to keep it low. And
you've seen every time. I've said it numerous times so far in the broadcast. East Point driving and spearing the ball inside 50. They're trying to take as much of the winning elements out of it. I think the Devils need to take a page out of their book on that front. As we jump by after the false start, we'll get back in the way, and the Breeze definitely caught that one. Had a very called, surely, unfortunately.
I think he's,
young fella just had a bit of an issue getting the slippery ball back in the field of play.
As we said before,
tough conditions for everyone today.
When he didn't pay that mark, and you've only got to see how wet and slippery that ball is. the boundary umpires can't handle it properly.
Korenko and Fenton will do better once again on the broadcast side. Umpire gets back underway right about now. That's much better.
That's nice, but the wind still caught it. But not,
one down.
Not that he can do anything about the wind.
Rottners went without it. Baker trying to find the Stratton, couldn't. Goes again, there's Baker. Quick handball was towards Leonard, and in the end he's going to have the boundary line nearby, and you'll happily see it there. We'll get a ball in now towards more the half-forward flank area for the
You've got to feel
pointers.
sorry for the young kid running the boundary.
It's going to be a tough day on the broadcast side for him. Back in the field of play. Kodoranka wins it down to Tongue, to Johnston's. Wobbly kick inside 50. Brown shrugged the tackle, got his kick away, but it was out on the full too wide with the effort there. But good attacking play from the best player on the ground in Central Highlands last year, Jacob Brown. Nearly a rival at East Point this year, having a fine season in Pointers colours. Our defence here will go Leonard. Come towards the boundary line. Page was his intended target. He slipped at the crucial moment. Fenton was there to mop it up. And it'll end up in the hands of Page. Kicks it down the line.
That's a better kick, but ill-directed.
It should be intercepted, but it's not. Umpire said it was chopping the arms, which is probably fair. Free kick on the way of Bilney on the broadcast side.
Well, to be honest, I probably would have paid the mark anyway.
But Clay Bilney will be the beneficiary on virtually right in front of us here on centre wing.
He's a pretty big lump of a lad too, isn't he?
One of their very important inside midfielders for the East Point Football Club. And you'll have an opportunity to drive him into attack once again. Keeps it somewhat low and sends it inside 50. Getting back though was Darren Leonard, and he's able to take the mark on his chest. Well positioned there, the vice captain of the Devils, and he can go across to Reece Ellis, who's playing a fine game so far in every term in defence. But needs to get the ball out of there with this kick on the half-back line broadcast side. Kicks one towards centre wing. Bilney's going to arrive again and takes a nice mark. They just can't get the ball moving forward at the moment, the Devils. Bilney wheels around inside 50. Atavi's got the sit at the back. 1-2. Couldn't bring it down. Thrown away towards Alice. Now Leonard. He gets boots the ball. Wobbly kick coming out of the fence. In front was McConaughey. Johnston come through up the deck. That's Matty Johnston. And he goes again. Peels for a free kick. Umpire said nothing doing on the outside. Handball inside from McConaughey looking for Brown. Draws a man. Got stolen out of his hands. So quick kick coming out by the Devils towards now the boundary on the outside. Patterson inside to Edwards. He got boots the ball. Hanson's in front. Just trying to slap it on. Trying to gain some territory. Devils working it towards the half-forward flank. East Point scrambling to get back. Hanson's second effort was good on the outside. Might be able to lock it in now, but too many numbers will prevail for the Pointers. Tongues long kick towards the outer side. Finds Kodorenko.
Well done, Paul.
Wobbly kick inside 50 it goes. Cullen's going to be quick, and he wasn't. Left it behind. Alice tried to go up the deck. Stolen by
That's got to be
the Pointers.
Paul.
Umpire waves playing on. Quick kick coming from Darley. Will come to the broadcast side now. It's a foot race. Ankram's one of them for the Devils. Throw it away, looking for Spiteri at the back. He goes off the deck, just trying to gain some distance. Numbers behind for the Pointers. Tongue. Try to find a man. And should be a free kick the way of Lovigan is. For a high tackle against Luther Baker. Plays on immediately. Bit of push and shove on the broadcast side as well in front of us, which is interesting to see as Korenko's high kick inside 50 it goes. Atavi used the body well, try to bring it to ground. He did, but Devils getting back with numbers. Stone slipped to the crucial moment. Handball was in the direction of, was in the direction of Johnson, but he was legged. And a free kick will go the way of East Point. And will go the way of Payne. He's already kicked one major this afternoon and has an opportunity to make it two on a 45-degree angle.
Kicking from the right side of the ground too.
Started right hand goalpost, and the breeze will do the rest for you would imagine.
You would suggest.
Kick from about, I'd say, about 40 metres out. Jordan Payne to make it two in the opening term for him as well at the 28.5-minute mark. Starts his slow approach. Kick is on its way. It's just fading across the face. Didn't get the greatest connection on the football. Did it hit down on the full with no one touching it? It did, so it's out in the full. Be a free kick in that out of post.
Well, I think unfortunately for Payne, the breeze just seemed to drop considerably when he kicked it.
And it means Alice will be the beneficiary in defence for the Devils at the 29-minute mark. Pumps it down the line with a high ball. Wiggers plonked himself in a good spot. Leonard brought it down for the Devils. Quick kick coming from Herring towards the boundary line on the centre wing broadcast side, and in the end a sliding ball, and it's gone out of play as Van Meer was taken there out of play, and we'll get a ball in right in front of our commentary position here on BFL Game Around 979 FM. It was actually the first game there. Dallas Martin's been taken into the fence. And back underway. Herring went without it. Umpire waves play on. Billy May got one over the shoulder. Umpire was blindsiding the contest. Quick kick coming out there by East Point, but Page behind the ball sets up once again for the Devils and takes the mark on his chest in his defensive 50. Got a man over the top, which he wants to find, and Herring, and he does. Mark taken. Wheels around to his trusty left, trying to find Stephen Kennedy, who needs to find some form in the Ballarat Football League. He takes the mark and goes with a left foot kick, though. Tongues at the back. Spearing ball, trying to go in towards the corridor. Payne comes from the side to arrive, but umpire's going to pay a mark.
Free kick, mark.
It's going away, Herring.
Yep.
Tries to play on immediately. Gives it to his captain in Page. Page will send it inside 50.
Jakey.
Edwards from the back.
Under it.
Crashed
He's
the back, but he was
free kick,
pushed,
no?
said the officiating umpire, and it means Jake Edwards got an opportunity to go back about 35, 40 metres from goal.
Is that Mr. Pinder, the umpire?
I think it might be in the hat today for the umpires. But
sun's very strong, so you've got to take...
Yeah, so it has poked through once or twice this afternoon. I can understand where the reasoning for that comes. As he'll shoot from about 35 metres here, Jake Edwards. So actually remarkably make it 2 in a row for the Devils against the Breeze. This would be huge going into the quarter time break. Edwards comes in, starts at near side, but it's coming back nicely, and he's kicked the major. 2 goals in a row for the Darley Devils, makes it 2 goals straight, 12, trailing East Point 6-3-39 after 31 minutes of football in the opening term.
And my mate John would have been very, very happy that he didn't have to move at all,
Did not have to move. Edwards wins the free kick and is able to go back and convert his first major of the afternoon for the Darley Devils to make it a 27-point margin here on BFL going around.
I'll pose a question to you, Sammy. Do the 2 goals that Darley have kicked against the Breeze erase the 6 goals that
not quite, but I think one more would do that, in my opinion, Barry Ag. As they've got an opportunity, because the free kick on the way of Harley Inglis. Gives him one motion to Stephen Kennedy. From the centre of the Eastern Oval, sends it inside 50. Hanson plonks himself in front. Couldn't bring it down. Ankrum went without it. Quick kick coming in the fence by Tongue. Taylor's underneath it. Slapped it towards the boundary line. Got men in support. East Point are able to keep it in the field of play. Scrambling kick forward's a good one. Mika takes the mark on his chest. Looks towards centre half back. Got a running man. Got Thornton, but the kick wasn't a very good one. Edwards come through. Needs some support. Handball over the top. Looking for a teammate. Edwards has tracked this one back towards centre wing on the other side. Brought to ground. Kotorenko got boots the ball, but it should be cut off or out in the full, and it is out in the full on the outside. Free kick on the way of Shane Page, who's continuing to rack him up across half back for the Devils.
Something for you to ponder, mate. Just watching Jake chase that ball, then I don't know whether he might be carrying a little bit.
We'll see how he develops across the game. It might be a good point why he started so deep forward this afternoon, Barry Agers. Ankrum trying to slap it forward for the Devils. Couldn't quite find a man. East Point with the run and carry. Good tackle applied by Darley. Spinning out that one nicely was Kennedy. Spearing ball inside 50, just too hot for Hanson. Inglis getting back though. Off the deck goes Edwards. Slapping it back was Baker, was good. Quick snap on goal by Inglis. Hit the woodwork, dribbling ball just across the face into the behind post. Minor score to the Darley Devils, 2-1-13 trail, 6-3-39. Short kick coming out of the fence is a good one by East Point. Simmons off one step though, was a poor kick. But it's not gonna matter after 33 minutes of football. It is quarter time here on BFL Game of the Round, which was an opening term which was dominated in the early proceedings by East Point, but a late fight back by the Devils might give Heat Scotland's men something to ponder at the quarter time break, as I will go to Barry Egg for the first time today with the goal kickers, please. Especially we'll start with East Point.
All right.
Along with, of course, Travis Mittens.
There's an interesting move. Jake Edwards full forward.
Right, back underway here. Mika Rodnonis will get us underway. The quick kick out of the middle.
Good punch.
Punch from behind. Mika goes again. Delahaye. Off the deck goes Rodnonis, getting towards... Well, now we're getting towards centre wing, but off the deck goes Ankrum, gaining a little bit of extra distance, and in the end, it looks like Martin's going to see that over the line and debut. And we're going to ball in on the half-forward line for the Darley Devils, who trail by 26 points, but of course are kicking with quite a strong breeze now towards that Peel Street eastern end of the ground.
And I was having a bit of a chuckle because Ian's just come back and by indications as to getting more clothing on, how cold it is out there.
As the ball's just gone inside 50, and we'll get a ball up about 40 from goal.
With Luther at the bottom of the pack again.
Baker having a good start for the Devils. Kerr knocked out that one and kicked quickly by Kotorenko, gaining some distance. Brown from the side, dropped the chest mark in the end. Goes again, there's Jacob Brown sliding in, was the Darley player. Who did he dive on it? Appeals for a free kick, nothing doing for them, and we'll get a ball up centre wing broadcast side. 6-3-39, East Point lead, Darley 2-1-13, BFL game of the round.
Where the Devils have got to pick their game up, they've got to trap it in their forward line.
Kotorenko won it down for East Point. Stratton flicked it at the back. Mika brought the ground by Kerr. Delahaye coming through and Mika right nice on the bottom pack once again. Johnston got boot to ball. Evans with no prior opportunity coming through. Baker got boot to ball and gained an extra 30 metres or so and went out of play. And we're going to ball in just on the half forward line, maybe just inside 50.
Or do you think the Pointers have got a couple of extra spare players in the back?
I would imagine
they would
be trying to drop a couple back, because there's no one in their attacking half at the moment as the ball's on the half forward flank now, just drifting inside 50. Kennedy trying to wheel it forward. Johnston left it behind. Matt Johnston goes once again, had a voice at the back in pain, didn't get one over their shoulders to the umpire, and in the end the ball's gone out of play. And once again, a ball in on the broadcast side, where the ball has been mainly trapped for the majority of the game, Barry Egg.
Yeah, and much to his relief, they've swapped sides on the boundaries.
Give the other kid a chance. Let's see what it's like. Bilney gets the clearance, sends a torpedo punt towards some vacant space on the outside.
Nobody.
It's a foot race. Atavi ran past it. Ball still alive. Nestor's a speedster. Got the kick off the ground. He'll follow it up here towards Whitaker and Lennon. The two veterans battle, but the ball is out towards Atavi. Dribbling kick towards tip of the goal square. McDougall got a hand to it. Still alive in the goal square. McDougall off the deck. Johnson coming through. Trying to go off the ground. World Cup style, but in the end it was off hands and through for a minor score. The opening score of the term going the way of East Point, 6-4-40, leading the Devils 2-1-13 on BFL game of the round.
If that's any indication, the Pointers did a scoring opportunity a lot easier than the Devils did.
Short kick out of the fence, found a target for the Devils, and it'll go inside towards the half-back line on the outer side of the grounds in the hands of McDonald. So McDonald, wave the play on now, can go short. That's and does nice. So.
Whoa!
Wave the play on, has to be quick, does Alice, and in the end his kick has gone out in the full, and it'll be a free kick the way of East Point, who've started this term as they did in the opening line in good fashion, in the hands of Daniel Simmons on the other side. No one really guards the mark, so he's able to run a little bit, gain a bit extra territory, sends a long ball inside 50, off hands, Jordan Johnston, got a man in the back of McDougall, it sits up for him, evades one, evades two, looks around for his options, trying to set her in, kick towards Atavi, off hands, Baker got quick kick, got foot to ball, now Spiteri, shrugs one and can go for a run, we'll send it inside 50, Jake. Edwards in front, juggling Mark will take it, Mark is taken just outside 50 and for Jake, not beyond him from 55, long ball towards the full forward position, in the end it's offline and it's going to go out of play.
On full.
And it will be a free kick the way of East Point in their defence 50, and looks like it's in the way of Gallagher. We'll have to just go retrieve the ball here in the opening minutes. So we played 4.5, in fact, of the second term. 6-4-40. That's East Point leading the Devils 2-1-13 on BFL game of the round.
Now, I've raised this issue on so many occasions, but
it's only going to happen once, Barry Eggs.
Yeah,
players jumping the fence.
Who do they sue? The Ballarat Football League or their club?
Back underway. Quick kick coming from Hanson. Kennedy. This wasn't a required journey. Goes around the body to the tip of the goal square. Edwards in a good spot. One grab couldn't quite bring it down.
He could have got a free kick there.
And in the back, I reckon, against Payne, should be a free kick the way of the Darley Football Club, and it is. And it looks like it's Spiteri down there.
Did you think they were all over Jake or not?
I thought it was probably just play on. Actually, sorry, that's Ankrum, the beneficiary of the free kick, who had to fight his way back into the senior lineup this year, tucked up against the boundary line. Those where the goals are. Ankrum runs up the angle a little bit, and he's kicked this one across the face. Minor score to the Darley Devils, 2-2-14 trail, 6-4-40. Back to a 26-point margin here on BFL game of the round. As we wait for Tongue to go collect the football and get us back underway here.
If nothing else, at least they've squared this quarter so far.
Yeah, one behind a piece at the moment, but of course the Devils kicking with very strong breeze to the eastern end of the ground. Will be the 2015 Career Player of the Year in Daniel Tongue to do the kicking in duties for East Point. Sends the
Right
long
down
ball
the
towards the
ground.
broadcast side. Page is in front. Was punched away from behind. Johnston got the crumb. Looking for his brother and Jordan. He just left it to a bit of advantage for Geordie Taylor.
That's
Quick kick's
nice.
good. And looking to go end to end here are the pointers. Atavi to Bilney. Got nothing inside 50. Stone with a great smother. Atavi gets it back. Sends a wobbly one in there. Numbers with the Devils. They couldn't complete the mark though. Miko Rodner Honors breaks away from 45. Starts it right. It's working its way back from Rodner Honors. Won't make the distance. And in the end, the Devils have got men in the back to rush it through for a minus score. Leonard tries to go quickly down the middle. Spiteri needs the mark and does. Johnston arriving late. Couldn't completely impact the contest and was just able to hold him up though. Jordan Spiteri looks to the broadcast side. Kicks in the Patterson direction, and Mika Rottenheims gets there once again. He's playing another fine afternoon of football in the midfield for East Point again with the spoil in there.
Kick didn't make it easy for the kid, did it? But gave
asking a bit too much of him.
Gave Mika every opportunity to defend.
Back in the field of play, Kodorenko continues to dominate. They punch it towards the boundary line, just pitches in. If it had gone another metre or two and out in the full, it would have been a free kick the way of the Devils because it bounced in front. It is not, and we'll get another ball in the same spot in between the half forward line and centre wing for East Point on the broadcast side. Umpire brings it back into the field of play. The ball falls short once again. Kodorenko slaps it over the back. McDonald stole it for the Devils. Quick foot to ball. Payne and Pattinson are on the run and the boundary line's nearby. And we'll get a ball in right in front of our broadcast position. Centre wing. Kodorenko and Fenton to do battle once again. And the veteran for East Point is continuing having a fine afternoon of football and wins it down once again. Baker,
Straight to Baker, no
steals it, and he's
possible
opposing number
opportunity.
7 in Johnston's able to wrap him up in the tackle. And we'll get a ball up, 6-5, 41 East Point lead 2-2, 14, 7.5 minutes gone. Kodorenko gaining some distance once again. Johnston goes again, knocking it forward. Big ping pong between a couple of them. Here's McDougall towards the boundary line, and in the end, the boundary line wins out once again here at the Eastern Oval. 8 minutes now surpassed in the second term.
Why would it be overly critical?
Can be Barry.
That chain, that's bloody dangerous.
Yeah, a few grounds still have those associated with them. Maybe something else you can work towards getting outlawed in the Borough Football League. Barry McDougall broke one, got away from the second. Johnston with the kick has gone out on the full.
I've got no problems with having chains there for access, but it's got to be a lot higher.
Barry Ag's thoughts here on 979 FM as Dallahay's kick into the corridor is a very, very poor one. Cut off by Nesta. Got a loose man streaming towards the half-forward line. Should be marked in the slippery conditions and slip through. Lovick tried to get away.
Smothered.
Still knocks it inside 50. Brown coming through, shrugged the tackle, sizes him up into the pocket. He goes with the kick. It's a good kick. It was just punched from behind. Numbers still with the pointers trying to win it inside 50, but in the end, Darley get it out of bounds. Looks like McDonald just getting a soccer in there and over the line.
And it just goes to prove that you've got to be absolutely 210% accurate with your kicks today, don't you?
Back on the way. Tavi knocks it to a dangerous position. Robson with the hand pass.
Nice.
Found a man in Dallahay, but he threw it away. Nesta got boot to the ball towards the tip of the goal square. Whittaker's his intended target, but he's going to be seen over the line and wound him at the clock. Brad Whittaker once again with Darren Lynn. A nice matchup inside 50 for the Pointers, who have continued against the Breeze to dominate this match. After 9.5 minutes of football, Jake Bridges will be thrilled.
Fortunately for the Devils, they really haven't hit the scoreboard, have they?
Back underway. Cullen got a fist in there, but it's taken away by Brown. Up against the boundary line, has to work back a long way. Isn't able to. His ball started near side, minus score. So 3 behinds in this term to East Point, making means there 6-6-42, leading to Darley 2-2-14. 10 minutes to pass, no goals as of yet in the opening.
What was that you said, Richie? 2-2?
2-2 in the second term. Back on the way here. Kennedy plays on from the full-back position and goes towards the outside. Punch forward by East Point. Numbers there with McDougall. Trying to go the hand pass off. Johnston's a good sweep of the line in the McDougall direction, but it's taken away by the Devils. Quick kick coming from Dallahay, but sitting up behind the ball is Carson, and he takes the unopposed mark virtually in the centre of the Eastern Oval. Got a man out on the broadcast side in Nesta if he wants. Decides he wants to get the outside risky kick, but Payne is able still to complete the mark. Gained a little bit of attention from Hansen in the contest.
Not illegal or...
He'll be waved to player now, Will Payne. Goes towards the outside where he's got intended targets. Alice from the side couldn't take the mark for the Devils. Quick kick coming towards inside 50. Now
that
Brown
was nice.
picked up in one motion, gives it off to a teammate in Tongue, up against the boundary line, right side for him as a left footer is across the face. Minor score, another missed opportunity for East Point. That's 4 behinds in a row for them. That's 6-7, 43 to the Devils 2-2, 14, 11 minutes gone. BFL game of the round 9-7-9 FM.
Could have quite easily been 10-3.
Very easily, and the game would definitely be out of the Devils' reach. 15 scoring shots to 4 at the moment. Back underway. Cullen's kicks somewhat down the middle in the Alice direction. Robson with a good crumb. Gave it off to Kennedy. He's going to have to be quick. Just handled it into space. And he was able to win the free kick. Umpire said he held on the tackle just a little bit too long. Free kick going the way of Stephen Kennedy on the half-back line outside.
Precipitation has started again.
It's been on and off all afternoon here at the Eastern Oval. And will continue to be for the remainder of this match. Stephen Kennedy gets a bit of protection played on, but kicked into smothered there by Bilney, who just let Stephen Kennedy know about it, the 2016 Henderson medalist. His kick going out of bounds. We'll get a ball in between the half forward line and centre wing on the outer side for East Point. They lead by 29 points at the moment here at their home ground, the Eastern Oval. Boundary umpire will bring it back into the field of play. Once again, Kodorenko easily and decisively wins it down. Coming through this time is Carrick for the Devils. His kick is wide and out in the full free kick going the way of East Point. And we go in the way of Daniel Tongue, who just continues to have fine season after fine season after fine season.
Thank you, sir, who got out of his car.
As a bit of an altercation down at the full forward position. As a result, the ball is going to travel 100 metres or so. And it's going to be a free kick the way of East Point. Looks like it's going to be going the way of Jordan Johnston. Directly in front, 25 from goal. Maybe a bit of holding off the ball, and the umpire didn't like it.
And this is something that the Devils definitely didn't want, because he just about marked this one down.
Jordy Johnston directly in front. About 25 metres from goal to kick the opening goal of the second term at the 13.5 minute mark. Been a live wire when he's been available for the Pointers this year up forward. And the interleague representative comes in and makes no mistake. And East Point do get the opening goal of the first term at the 13.5 minute mark, thanks to Jordan Johnston. Another great start here in this term by East Point, Barry.
Yep. Well, look, it's as we said, it's pre-match. It's not to be unexpected with the drama that's in.
It's tough situation.
That overtook the Devils at the end of last weekend, and losing players, and
it's now a 35-point margin here on BFL game of the round. 7-7-49 leads 2-14.
The precipitation's getting heavier.
As we're back underway, Kodorenko wins it down. Kennedy, in the second effort, does get boot the ball in and goes towards the half-forward line. Stratton wants to move it quickly. Sends a wobbly one to the full forward position. Might carry all the way from Stratton, and it does! Instant response from our boy Ziggy.
Go Swanee.
55, bangs it home, dribbles through for a goal. Darley, 3-2-20, trail East Points, 7-7-49, back to a 29-point margin here on BFL Game of the Round. Thanks to our man, Ziggy Swanee or Jacob Stratton. Devils getting one back that obviously they need. They trail by 29 points on BFL Game of the Round, 9-7-9 FM. But they now need to string not just one or two in a row.
Question: why is Shane Page over there all by himself?
Oh, he's been somewhat guarded by Lovick there. They're just playing in the zone defence, Barry Egg. It's some of the new trends we see in football these days as Kodorenko comes over the top.
Judge that well, didn't he?
Trying to slap it forward. Mecca rotten on us. He'll send it inside 50 for the Pointers. Tavi couldn't quite complete the mark, was maybe fell in the back of. Umpire said nothing to him. Madu was taken towards line. He just can't buy a free kick today, Charles Tavi. The Essendon listed VFL player just cannot be the beneficiary of any ball use and any free kicks. Back underway.
That's a good throw in the conditions.
And a bit of holding going on. It's going to go against Abraham Kerr and going to go the way of Paul Kodorenko just outside 50. Gives off to Simmons. He'll load up a long ball inside 50 for East Point. Where are the Flyers? Whittaker sets himself one grab, couldn't quite bring it down. Dives in for a second effort. And in the end, he dived on top of the football. Umpire said no. We will get a ball up. About 30 metres from goal. 29 points to margin on BFL game of the round. In these cold conditions here at the Eastern Oval. We're back underway. Baker gave it to Delahaye, got boot to ball, and it's going to go bounce in front of the boundary line, go out of play. Kick was intended for Stratton. And it cleared the defence for the Devils, and that's all they had to do, Barry Ag.
I know it was intended for Swanee, but he would have had to be able to run like...
that's...
what's his name?
Usain Bolt?
Bolt, yep.
There we go, getting the right one here on BFL going on 9-7-9. Back underway. Sweeping handles looking for Cottarenko, crunch from the side by Kerr. And Johnson spun around and tackle, and in the end he's going to be wrapped up by Stone, and we'll get a ball up on the half-forward line for East Point, who are winning this term, even though they are now kicking to the not-so-favoured Western End, as that breeze has picked up just a little bit here.
Again, yep.
Atavi went without it, goes once again as Joel Atavi, shrugged the tackle nicely, and from 55 sends a wobbly ball into the full-forward position. Both players holding each other, says the umpire. Darley desperate trying to clear, can't really do so. East Point went without it. Robson gave it to a teammate who just hacked it out of there for the Devils. Over the top came Thornton with the fist. Martin tried to keep it moving forward, couldn't quite do so. So Stratton goes off the deck,
well
gains a little bit extra distance for the Devils, and the ball does go out of play, centre wing broadcast side. And a little mini win there for the Darley Devils, who are 3-2-20, trailing East Point 7-7-49, 17.5 minutes gone, BFL game of the round. Back underway. Cottarenko usually slapped down. Off the deck was trying to go was Johnston. Followed up nicely to Matty Johnston. You'll see Page over the line. And we'll get a ball in broadcast side, as we've now played 18 minutes of football in the second term. East Point continuing on their merry way. But this is about where they fell asleep in the opening term and let the door open a little bit for the Devils. Will they do it again? Back underway. Johnston, who's been in fine form for the East Point this season. Over the top looking for Bilney.
Oh, you should have grabbed him.
Got away. Carrick spun away from Nesta, but Dalberg's able to send the pointers forward. Sits up nicely from McDougall. Will send the kick inside 50. Atavi's intended target. Reaches over the back. Cullen just did enough to nullify him. Evangeline is nearby for the Devils, and they get it towards there. And we'll get a ball in on the half back line for the Darley Devils.
It doesn't do too many things that I can ever been overly critical of, but I couldn't understand why Swanee tried to bump him when he should have tackled him.
It's a not almost costly mistake coming there from Stratton, but in the end, we're back underway here. Cottarenko wins it down. It's in the McDougall direction. Boundary line once again is still nearby, and we'll get another ball in. Lots and lots of stoppages in the cold, blustery conditions this afternoon, which means we're in for long terms and a long afternoon of football here from the Eastern Oval on 979 FM.
Which has now got bathed in sunshine again.
Once again. One of those days. As Nesta's kick is smothered. Off the deck goes Spiteri. Didn't gain really any distance with it. Herring's in there once again for the Darley Devils. Umpire is circling. Lets it roll on. Rotten Island's trying to break free. Umpire says you're going nowhere, and we'll get a ball up just inside 50 for East Point. The second place East Point lead the third place Darley Devils by 29 points at the moment, and we're back underway. Cottarenko wins it down. Usually coming through was Kerr, trying to just gain a bit of distance. Handled by Stone was a hot one. Spiteri did get boot to ball. Ball still alive. Stolen away by Delahaye. Wobbly kick. Diving in there was Carson. Couldn't quite complete the mark.
Oh,
Inglis tried to go off the ground and he missed the ball completely and created a turnover. Simmons sends the ball towards the half-forward line. Brown from the side is able to take the mark in the slippery conditions. Has to try to break the Leonard tackle. Does so and runs to 50. Sends a wobbly one in the Atavi direction. Still alive. He elects to keep it in, Joel Atavi, but it didn't get to his man and his intended target. Cullen boots the ball towards the boundary line. Had nothing to go to, and the umpire says he has the benefit of the doubt. We're going to get a ball in on the other side. But very impressive play there by Jacob Brown. First for the mark in slippery conditions, and then the stiff arm to Darren Leonard to get away. It was something to be seen here on the broadcast side.
Don't do that too often with Darren Leonard.
No, exactly. Not many people were able to get away from the big frame.
And not too many people even got the intestinal fortitude to try it.
Exactly. And the youngster said, I most certainly can.
Yeah.
We'll get the ball back in as predicting the time on second term. Kodorenko slaps it behind him. Taylor, wobbly kick inside 50. Slip through the fingertips of that man. We're just talking about Leonard. Couple of players here for Darley at the back. If they can share it, they might be able to get out of defence. Robson, he's just gone straight to the boundary line. That's as deliberate as it comes. And the umpire has given him the benefit of the doubt. If they were ever going to call one in season 2018, Barry Ag, that might have been the one in my opinion. But Darley getting away with it as they can try to lock up in their defensive 50 with the ball coming back in the field of play. Atavi knocked it straight to their captain in Page. His quick kick was dropped by Tongue. Spun out of tackle, 50 from goal. Sends one to the tip of the goal square. Whittaker from the side. Couldn't quite bring it down. Herring trying to slap it to advantage. And Evans found Kennedy. Back to Evans. Evans gets his kick away towards Patterson. Is it wide? In the end, it pitches in the field of play and goes out of bounds. And we get a ball in just inside 50 of East Point. 29 points the margin. 7-7-49 leads 3-2-20.
Scoreboard would suggest differently, but I've been reasonably impressed with the Devils' defence.
Holding up at the moment, but when the cracks begin to appear,
been paid to pointers.
Yeah, it's going the way of Paul Kodorenko once again in the ruck. Well, at this point, want to take the advantage. They've kicked the goal, and Johnston did a classy finish, but the ball's going to have to come back.
All right. Well, after a free kick has been awarded, if the opposition kick it, it's a 50-metre penalty.
Yep.
If your teammates kick it, why isn't it overturned?
Oh, well, I think they try to have that rolling advantage to keep the game moving, Barry Ag. And the umpire said there was no advantage.
Yep.
But in my book, Johnson kicked the goal, so that's the definition of advantage.
Yeah,
So-
but he had called time on.
I know, Barry Ag. I'm just trying to play devil's
Yeah,
advocate.
I
As
know.
Kodorenko's
That's
spearing
a
goal
nice kick.
will not make the distance, and Kerr bounces off his scone and goes out of bounds. And we're going to ball in deep inside 50 as the little bit of niggle continues around Abraham Kerr, who has had a tough afternoon when he's been in the ruck against Paul Kodorenko, who's been absolutely dominant once again in the Ballarat Football League. Back underway, quick snap out of the pack. He's hit the woodwork from East Point.
That was good because I had no idea who kicked that.
Neither did I, Barry, so I didn't quite, I'm sure our man Josh from Redonia Craig picked it up very nicely on the camera. And you can head there, of course, to AFLgoldfields.tv to check it out during the week. All the footage, and be able to listen to our call as well once again. And we can just turn the audio off if you don't want to.
If you know that I'm doing it.
Ball on the broadcast side.
Hit
Hanson coming through. Got one over the shoulder, I reckon. Free kick going away the Devils, who trail by 30 points at the moment. It's Baker. Gives off to Kennedy. Kennedy from centre half back. Blazes along the way.
Nobody.
But he didn't look, Barry Ag.
Exactly, nobody.
And he just picked up Gallagher. He goes
and
across.
that's what you're supposed to do, Stephen. Have a look and see if you can find somebody wearing the same coloured jumper as you are.
The ex-St Joey's player in Daniel Simmons looks across. Finds Payne in the full-back position. Got plenty of time. He goes to Tongue instead. One of their premium ball users. Wrong side for him. Has to be pinpoint. And Carrick comes across from side, takes the mark. Now to Page, 52 from goal. Unloads a long ball to the goal square. Almost run lap his intended target. Quick handball to Edwards. Snap around the body's good. Umpire's paid a free kick though. It's going the way of East Point. So
I must admit, I did not see it.
I think you signal a hold against Ankrum on Tongue, which means the goal and snap from Edwards will not count at the 25-minute mark, and we just wait for Tongue to...
And how lucky were you, Tungy, that a little bit more effort it would have been out in Peel Street. You would have had to get a taxi.
Very good. It's very sharp work coming from Barry Ag on here on BFL Game of the Round 979 FM. After 25 minutes, just falling on deaf ears at the moment. Tongue,
Josh is just shaking his head.
It's going to be a long afternoon next to us. I feel bad for everyone else who's going to stick up some another half football. Back on the way, ball towards the boundary line, broadcast side to centre wing, and we'll get a ball in. 30 points the margin here between East Point and the Darley Devils. And we'll get a ball in centre wing and get things back underway. Kodorenko once again. Too strong in the ruck, wins it down. Bill Nimitz, his intended target, couldn't quite extract it on that occasion. Quick kick coming forward by the Devils, picked up by Dalberg. Handball was just over the shoulder. Umpire said he threw it. Free kick will go the way of Darley in the hands of Robson, who's been one of the betters this afternoon so far. Was looking for Baker. He couldn't complete the mark. East Point with the numbers in Bilney. He just scrambles a kick out of there in the tail direction. Good fist applied there by Delahaye. Nesta getting back. just couldn't quite get a handle of it. Knocked it towards Simmons. Is going to be gang tackled by a couple. Probably didn't have any prior opportunity, says the umpire, and he does. Scores from around the league as well. Lake Windermere 3-8-26 lead Sunbury 3-5-23. Melton 2-8-20 leading North Barrow City 2-2-14. And Redan 6 goals 12-48 leads Melton South 4-5-29. So scores in other matches. Delahaye bursts away from the pack, sends it inside 50. Edwards presents, just bounced off his chest. Inside 50, the ball is for the Darley Devils. Bounce between a couple. Tongue got a kick away. Kennedy coming through, couldn't quite extract it for the Devils. Quick kick coming from Bilney is a good one, playing in front.
Yep.
And that's what we go do as a forward, Barry Ag.
Exactly.
Johnston.
Exactly.
Geordie Johnson looking for Matt. And he'll just pitch on the other side. He's got time to spin around, spearing ball down the line, looking for a target. Good fist applied by Cullen, who's done a good job on the VFL listed player. But he ran out of bounds there. Did Atavi try and drive him into attack? He is unlucky day. He can't win a free kick. Can't kick the ball in the field of play. Only has the one major. Could easily have 6 or 7 the way the ball has been presented to him all afternoon. But ball's out of play. In between half forward flank and centre wing on the other side. Johnson in the ruck this time gets a little left hand fist in there. But the Devils will extract. In the hands of Cullen. Steps between a couple. Sorry, that's Hanson getting through a few. Sends a scrambling kick towards the half-forward line. Edwards in front. He's outnumbered though. The slap went as far as Carrick though. Taken away now by Payne.
How many times?
And
yes.
He spun 360. Umpire said the tackle stuck enough, which means Jakey Edwards has an opportunity from 55 to load up.
To make amends for what was taken off him.
And we know Barry Ag, he is a thumping kick of the football.
Oh, look, distance, especially with the wind behind him.
Kicking towards the Peel Strand shouldn't probably be a problem for him because he can really roost the football.
If he doesn't get this into Peel Street, he's not trying.
From 55, he'll probably strike this football to reduce the margin. Edwards comes in. Long kick is on its way. It's not going to quite make it. Carrick's at the back with the fly. Couldn't bring it down. And in the end, they are forced to concede there at East Point. And he didn't get into Peel Street, Barry Ag, and it's a minor score for the Darley Devils. 3-3, 21 trials, 7-8, 50, 28 minutes gone in the second term.
Gave me the impression he was looking more for accuracy than distance, but should have been able to do both, shouldn't he?
Probably should have, Barry Ag. His tongue plays on and gets a long kick out of his opposite boot. Out of the 50 it goes. Atavi using the right foot outside kick towards Thornton. Got 2 to beat. We're happy to lock it up. McDougall slipped through his fingertips. Mickers in there. McDougall goes once again for East Point. Wheeling it forward are the pointers. Now Thornton will send a dribbling kick inside 50. Getting back there is Spiteri though for the Darley Devils. Wobbly kick coming out the fence. Should be cut off. Bilney got Atavi inside 50 by himself. Wobbly kick will sit up for him on the other side. About 48 from goal. Is confronted by Spiteri. Tries to put the stance. Little goose step on. Has to give the handball off to Johnston. Wheels around. Sends the ball to a dangerous area. Micker from the side. 1 grab, 2 grab. Offhand says the umpire. Got boots of ball. Still alive inside 50. McDougall got boots of ball. And used that big frame well to kick his 3rd goal of the afternoon. Bryson McDougall makes it 3. And East Point are probably going to win this term against the Breeze, would you believe it, Barry Ag?
Yes.
At the 29-minute mark, McDougall scrapping another one.
Would believe it.
You know,
because I think they've played the better football for this quarter, even against the Breeze.
Most certainly have, Barry Ag. And in the other game that we didn't get to, it is half-time between Bacchus Marsh and Sebastopol, where Bacchus Marsh lead 41-30. For our listeners in that region, we know what's going on in that game. Take down the ruck. The disposed football means a free kick will go the way of the Darley Devils. And the way of Kerr in the centre of the Eastern, which is bathed in sunshine once again, Barry Ag.
That's nice pass.
And it was the Baker.
That's good football.
Wheels around to his trusty left foot, looking for Edwards, but doesn't quite get there. Punch in front. Carson got a handball all the way. Tongue broke free. Got a scrambly sort of kick, only about a metre or so forward. McConaughey's dragged to ground in the end. We'll get a ball up in defensive 50 for East Point. 30 minutes gone, second term. Another long quarter in this match between East Point and the Darley Devils. Back underway, 35 points to the margin. Kerr Won it down, but straight to Matty Johnston, who continues to rack up
going to
possession.
go out of bounds. Oh!
Did a pitch in line.
Yes, it certainly did.
And we'll get a ball in centre wing, broadcast side.
If we had more windows open, we could probably just could have marked that, couldn't we?
Well, I'm glad it didn't come towards me. We're going to come straight through the window there, right into the camera, which is positioned right next to us here, which thanks to Red Onion Creative. But once again, we're back underway. Both ruckman holding, says the umpire. Kerr trying to wheel it forward for the Devils. Robson on the bottom of the pack is gained, tackled and jumped on by a couple East Point players, and at the 31-minute mark we'll get a ball up in between centre wing and a half-forward flank for Darley. They trail by 35 points on BFL game. They're at 9-7-9 FM. Kerr wins it down to the running Delahaye. That was good set play. Delahaye loads up from 55, but the kick is offline, minus score. Darley moved to 3-4-22. East Point's 8-8-56. 34 points the margin. And both sides being inaccurate in this term, especially the pointers. Dalberg plays onto himself, goes in the Johnston direction. One grab, it was off hands, and then it went out of play. And we're going to ball in on the half-forward line broadcast side. 32 minutes have now surpassed in this second term.
Well, there's an analogy they use on sports quite often. Funny game, this.
Quick slap forward, but Kennedys kick off the outside of the boot. Went across towards the centre half-forward position. Thornton's on the bottom of the pack there for East Point, and in the end we will get a ball up.
And I use that analogy because with a 5 to 6 goal breeze that we thought it was, Darley kicked a higher score against the breeze than they have with it.
So far, as we're in the final stages of the second term, Kennedy trying to make amends for that. Tries to send inside 50. Stratton is near the boundary line in the end. The boundary line once again wins out. There's a bit of push and shove over the boundary line, but nothing too untoward as we get a ball brought back in. About 40 from goal. But Kerr once again doing battle in the ruck for the Devils. Kennedy's quick kick just floated over the top of an East Point defender. They're trying to clear. Here's Payne. Did get boots the ball. Whitaker will arrive late. The big frame will get in there and just punch it towards the boundary line.
I thought Darren was pretty lucky
to not infringe. I think
I think he did infringe.
That's what I'm saying, Barry.
Yes,
I reckon he had both arms wrapped very firmly around the big frame of Brad Whitaker, and umpire said nothing doing. Ball comes in side 50 from the throw in. So Stratton got boots the ball off hands. Delahaye knocks it to a dangerous region. But Dalberg stepped around one. Did he incorrectly dispose of the ball? I thought so. Umpire said nothing doing. Still alive inside 50 for the Darley Devils. And we'll get another ball up. 34 points still the margin here. BFL game of the round. Could not be long left, you'd imagine, after 33.5 minutes. Another long term here at the Eastern Oval.
When you consider this being 3 goals kicked only,
sort of shows the stalemate nature of this match. Back underway, kick out some space. They elect to go just off the ground to East Point through McConaughey. Whitaker fighting his way to the contest. Bilney put the head down. Didn't get one high, said the umpire, and in the end we will get a ball up centre wing broadcast side. A tough, tight tussle in this term, but East Point definitely playing the better brand of football at the moment, Barry Agers. We're back underway. Tarvey off the back of the hand. Only went as far as McDonald. Sweeping handball's a good one to Hanson. Over top to Robson. But any attacking foray that the Devils were going to set up there has been beaten as the siren has sounded for half time here, Barry Ag, in the Ballarat Football League's match between East Point and the Darley Devils. And Barry Ag, we'll get the goal kickers from you, please.
Do you want the scores for
of course, sorry. Of course, and the scores brought to you by, of course, Contact Real Estate, and they read 8-8-56 East Point to Darley 3-4-22, and the goal kickers, Barry.
3 to McDougall, 2 to Johnson, 1 each to Atavi, Whitaker and Payne, and for the Darley football side, 1 apiece to Robson, Jakey Edwards and Z Stratton.
Yes.
Swanee.
Yeah, Jacobs the Stratton with 1 goal as well for the Darley Devils, but a very, very impressive term against the breeze for Jake Bridges' man. East Point there doing some fine working, winning the term remarkably, and really outplaying the Darley Devils at the moment at the Eastern Oval. We'll take a break here, I think, Barry Ag, from the Eastern
Just before
Oval.
we do,
that's fine.
As I said just before the quarter finished, that I can't find any feasible explanation for the fact that Darley could kick 2 goals against the breeze, and we I think conservatively said it was 4 to 5 goals, Breeze, and they kicked one with it. Right.
The third quarter about to get underway here from the Eastern Oval. Kerr and Conaringo once again to continue their battle in the ruck, and we're off and racing. Conaringo wins the damage straight towards Lucia Baker. His kick goes towards the outer side. Payne streaming away for East Point trying to get their first. Hanson cut across to make a contest. Flicking hand pass up top was Nesta to Payne. Payne got foot to ball. Wobbly one towards the half-forward flank.
Good attacking football.
And he's a bit sore. He's hurt himself there, Cullen, in that contest. Does not look in a good way at all. Whitaker's handball was partially smothered. Johnson was clever off the deck. Gave it to the loose man in Atavi in the full forward position. McDougall slipped through his fingertips. In the end, it's rushed through by Delahaye and by Darley Devils. And I don't know if he got...
Mate. It looks as though he might have just got one in a bread basket.
Yeah, he doesn't look overly well on the other side there, does Cullen.
No, but once again... How long does it take to get a trainer out there?
He's still on his haunches. 35 points to margin. Page goes in the Alice direction wide with the kick. It's a good kick. Mark is taken on the broadcast side, half-back flank.
Finally got a trainer out to him. It looks as though he might have just been winded. Hopefully that's...
Kicks in the Ankrum direction, but it's going to be cut off by Kotorenko. Sends it inside 50. Got the loose man in there to East Point. That loose man is Brad Whitaker, and he marks inside 50.
And just to make sure... That's one of the few overhead marks that's been taken all day.
Directly in front, Whitaker is about 45 out from goal. He will shoot, kicking towards the eastern end of the ground to give East Point the perfect start. Once again, as they've kicked the opening goal in every term so far, this will make it a game-high 41 points if he can kick from directly in front. Whitaker comes in, kick is on its way, and it's hit the woodwork. Minus score, 18 58. East Point lead Darley 3-4-22.
Well, that's why we started the second quarter.
Yes, and it was a poster as well. We're a couple of behinds at the start here for East Point to start this term. Page.
And for anybody that's brought a raffle ticket at East Point, the winner is purple D85.
Yeah, but we don't have that one in the commentary box, unfortunately. Long kick coming from Page. Herring couldn't complete the mark. Got a scrappy kick out of there towards Inglis. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. The ball's still a little bit greasy in these conditions. Even though the sun has bathed East Point for the last 10 to 15 minutes. And we'll get a ball up.
It's probably going to take another 42 hours to dry it out, mate.
Had plenty of rain over the last couple of days in Ballarat, and we're back underway. Kotorenko won it down. Johnston went without it, got boot to ball. Binley's kick was partially smothered. McDonald trying to bust his way through. Matty Johnston goes once again and put the head down and found Kotorenko with the hand pass over the side towards Payne. Payne will run to 50, size him up, kicks off the outside of the boot, will not fail to score, and in the end it's pitched in the field of play and gone out of bounds.
That was such a horrible even attempt before he kicked it. I was going to say, how did he kick a goal in the first place?
Good point there, Barry Aggers. Winning a ball brought back in deep inside 53-minute mark of the third term. 36 points is the margin here on BFL Game of the Round 979 FM, and we're back underway here. In front, one down by Avtari. Coming through there was Brown. Put the head down, wrapped up by a couple of Darley players about 20 metres out from goal. We'll get another ball up inside 50 for East Point.
David, if you're listening, you've got good reason to be feeling cold, mate, because it's officially 6.8.
As a free kick's being called off by the non-official umpire, it's going to go the way of the Darley Devils. It's going to go the way of Herring. He wants to go to the outer side in the Kerr direction, flies high.
That's a good grab.
That's a very good grab by Abraham Kerr. Gives it off the handball to Delahaye. He looks towards the centre back position. Has to be pinpoint. Johnson did well. Slapped the forward on into as far as Herring though. He got boot to ball. Will land in the middle of the Eastern Oval. Carrick came up to meet it. Slung off it. Kennedy tries to come through. Couldn't quite do so. Carrick did enough. Handball by Inglis. Taken away though by Nicker. Spins on an arm, is Rottner Omis. Sends a wobbly one towards the half-forward flank. Johnston just pushed his opponent in the side. Coming through with McDonald, wrapped up in the tackle. Ball spills free. Whitaker tries to draw a man. Got boot to ball to Matty Johnston. He just slipped through his fingertips. Stone in there for the Devils. Handball from Page was a good one to Evans. Evans gets his kick away. Mark is taken by Brown. Did he get too much extra attention? Umpire said no. Just the mark. Brown plays on. Sends it inside 50 with the kick. Good spoil there by Alice. Good defensive work by Reece Ellis on that occasion. Herring got the kick away in towards the centre of the Eastern Oval. Holding going on. Free kick going the way of East Point. Payne played on. Created a bit of a problem. Dalberg looking for Mika Rottner. He goes again, breaks the tackle, gets away from the distraction. Well done by Mika. Sends it inside 50 with the kick. Looking for Geordie Johnston. Sells a bit of candy, goes to his left side, sends the ball to the tip of the goal square with the kick. Darby, one grab, two grab, couldn't bring it down once again. Devils holding on in defence, should be locked up. Well, umpire says no, he's taking him on, holding the ball. Free kick going against Hanson, and result in a free kick the way of East Point. Didn't think he had a hell of a prior opportunity, but nevertheless, will be a shot on goal coming the way of East Point here at the 5.5 minute mark, Barry Ag.
A hell of a lot of opportunity. For mine was 0.
And Joel Artavi hasn't had anything really go his way,
so he
does get one on this opportunity. On about a 45-degree angle, we're right behind this kick in our commentary position. He'll shoot from about 30 metres out.
Be second for the day.
Comes in, the VFL listed player at Eston. A very slow and deliberate approach to goal. Kick starts it right. Wind will bring it back and brings it back into woodwork. Three behinds.
2 in a row.
2 posters in a row and 3 behinds in a row at East Point to start this third term. 8-11-59. They lead Darley's 3-4-22. 37 points to margin. BFL game of the round. Darley going to come out of the fullback position. They play on. And they'll come towards the broadcast side. And once again, the sun pokes its way out here at the Eastern Oval. High ball. Whittaker takes a strong grab. Nice mark taken by Brad Whittaker. 55 from goal. Called the play on. Spearing ball inside 50. Double fisted there from Leonard. Didn't elect the mark on that occasion. Could be costly. Round the body goes Lovick to the tip of the goal square. Darley with some numbers, but they're trying to fight amongst themselves. Page did find a man though, and a clearing kick comes from Alice out of the fence. Kerr with the fly. Probably an unrealistic tap, but a mark was taken by Payne nevertheless. Tries to keep it low, and it's a good kick by Payne. Mark is taken inside 50, and Bilney can go back pretty much directly in front, and he'll shoot from just inside the paint.
As a centre line player, backman, what's he like? Is he accurate kick, mate?
Bilney doesn't normally make the most of his opportunities in front of the big sticks. And I would probably mark this one down, Barry Ag, from just inside the paint. At the 7.5 minute mark, Clay Bilney to kick the opener of the third term. Kick is on its way. It's fading with the breeze, and in the end, it's another minor score. 8-12-60. East Point lead Darley 3-4-22, a 38-point margin on BFL game round. 4 behinds in a row in this term to start proceedings for the Pointers. Where really they was in the opening term, it was the opposite. They kicked, I think, 4 majors straight before recording their first blemish.
5 straight.
Kick down the middle, Bilney cutting across, taken away here by Lovick, lines them up. He won't make the mistake this time, and Lovick does get the opener at the 8 minute mark for East Point. Just another costly mistake coming out of the fence from the Darley Football Club has resulted in an East Point goal, and now we're out to that game high margin lead for East Point. It's a 44-point margin, 9-12-66 to Darley's 3-4-22 BFL game of the round. Here on 979 FM. After a few costly missed, East Point A, we get the first major of the third term.
It's taken 8.5 minutes, though, mate.
But they continue to continue on in this match at the Eastern Oval against the Darley Devils. Back underway. Koirenga says, "Look at that! I'll just punch it inside 50 of my own bat." It's almost gone to the full forward position. Cullen coming through. Hacked it forward.
That's the sort of defensive play you got to be having at some.
Dahlberg sends it inside 50. Brown asks for some protection. Can't quite pick up the greasy ball. McDonald grabs him and takes him.
Consistency, umpires.
And he says it's going to be a boundary throw in inside 50. Heading towards the Peel Street end. East Point. 9-12-66 leading 3-4-22. And the umpire will get us back underway, bringing the ball into the field of play. Tarvey knocks it behind his head, wants Matty Johnston to run onto it. Baker got to go there first and just hacked it off the deck. Appeals for a delivery out of bounds from Brad Whittaker. Nothing doing, says the umpire.
Very optimistic appeal.
And we'll get a ball in on the other side, about 35 metres from goal, inside 50 for East Point.
I would have thought.
I would have thought so too, Barry. 9.5 minutes gone, and we're back underway.
Oh, wind caught that one.
Tarvey won it down. Little slick handball was too hot for its intended target. Taylor found Lovick. Delahaye tried to bust his way through. You'd have to say it's holding the ball umpire, but no. Not going the way of East Point this occasion. He took him on, did Luke Dallahey. Umpire said, yeah, no prior opportunity.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at somebody's disgusted head thrown back.
And we'll get a ball up directly in front, 35 from goal. Here's Lovick. Got one over the shoulder. Umpire let it go. Got boots the ball. Nesta around the body coming back, but just to the near side. Minor score. 9-13-67. That's East Point leading Darley. 3-4-22, who are yet to really get in their attacking half in the opening 10.5 minutes of this third term. Still one-way traffic here at the Eastern Oval.
Well, the way they're going, the pointers that is, they're probably going to surpass Darley's points with just the points that they've kicked.
They have an opportunity to go forward once again. I think it's Bilney on the outside taking another strong mark. An opportunity from just outside 50 to try and kick his opening goal of the day.
Well, this has got to be...
We've seen a lot of players from just outside 50 today, Barry. I think they can get the journey. The breeze not quite assisting him as much as they were expecting.
But from his previous attempt, a lot closer, he couldn't make it. But
Kicker's going to go right to the goal line, and it will fall short. And in the end, it will go through for a minor score. Called it well, Barry Ag, 9-14-68. That's East Point leading Darley's 3-4-22, a 46-point margin here at the Eastern Oval.
No, I was just basing it on if you can't kick a goal from 40 metres out, you have got nothing.
And Carlin's kick is wide. In the end, no one could touch it, so it's a free kick going the way of the Pointers. McConaughey's kick inside's a good one to find Lovick, who kicked the last goal for the Pointers, and he can go back from 50 on a 45-degree angle to make it 2 in a couple of minutes for him.
Admittedly, we're on the far side of the ground to where the kick came from, but that looks short to me.
But Kieran Lovick can become a mobile goal kicker as well this afternoon if he can bang one home from 50 metres out.
And his previous attempt suggested he can do it.
Comes in right on the paint, gets very close to man the mark, but he makes no mistake, Barry Ag. Very nice finish from Lovick. And it's a couple of minutes for him here at the Eastern Oval from a nice finish from 50 metres out to make it a 52-point margin on BFL Game of the Round. Great goal to Cameron Lovick.
Would this be what you would have to suggest that Jakey would be looking for something like this to boost their percentage, wouldn't you?
Well, that's it, Barry Ag. And now it's starting to get to the point where percentage is going to become quite a crucial factor. East Point level on points for Bacchus Marsh as well. They can maybe potentially take top position if they continue on their merry way here. Matty Johnson sends inside 50. Whittaker brought to ground and we'll get a ball up just inside 50. 10-14-74. That's East Point leading Darley's 3-4-22. A 52-point margin here on BFL Game of the Round. And we're back underway. Kodorenko once again decisively wins it down. Lovick, he's hot at the moment.
He's into it. He's got it.
He's stepping around for his third off the deck. McDougall into his direct opponent off his shin, and in the end it's a minor score. 10-15-75 now. East Point lead Darley's 3-4-22. Stuck on that 22 as the rain once again begins to fall here at the Eastern Oval.
Told you they should have played over during half time.
Playing on fullback is Cullen. His kick is in the Spiteri direction, and once again it's too wide and gone out of play. This time he played on, so no free kick going the way of the Pointers.
I think he did touch it before.
I know, Barry. I'm just sort of saying these last couple of kick-ins have been wide and not finding a man, which has been a big problem for the Devils in these windy conditions. Back underway. Rain continued to fall now quite heavily at the Eastern Oval. Bilney coming through, couldn't quite get boot the ball. Kennedy trying to will it for the Devils, and in the end it's Dallahey taking over the line with the football. A 53-point margin.
Now, isn't this just summing up? There is just the slightest hint of shadows on the ground, and the rain is heavy.
We'll get the ball back in the field of play. Cullen looks like he went down the ruck. Kennedy sort of threw it away. Johnson trying to get away with a silky move. Brown used the body well. Snappers up the side of the boot. Landon and Matty Johnson collide once again. Diving in there was the East Point player trying to lock it up in Bilney. Johnson gets away with it though. Lines up the goals. And Matty Johnson kicks his second for the afternoon. Here at the 15-minute mark. And Barry Ag, it's getting quite ugly at the moment for the Darley Devils at the 15-minute mark. A 59-point margin.
I've got Johnson down for 3, mate.
I've got 2. I think I've got 2 for Maddie and 1 for Geordie. I think you might have combined the Johnsons for us.
Well, there you go.
There you go. See, that's why I'm number 1. You're number 2 today. Barry Ag here on PFL going around.
You're number 1. I'm number 798.
I didn't know you could count that high, Barry Ag.
I can't.
Okay, guessed. Okay, a guesstimation. Here on PFL game of the round. 11-15-81. East Point lead. Darley 3-4-22. Here at the Eastern Oval. 59 points to margin. One down by Martin. Off the deck goes Bilney. Taylor playing in front. Wasn't paid the marketing trouble the required journey. Baker handballed it towards no one in particular. Martin gave it off to Bilney. Bilney sends in the full forward position to Tarvy's at the side, and he'll take the mark. It's getting really, really, really ugly. Got Taylor by himself, 40 from goal. Got time to size him up. Around the body he goes. McDougall off hands, and in the end it's gone through for a minus score. 11-16-82 to 3-4-23. How many scoring shots I had in this term, Barry Ag?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11.
11 scoring shots to 0 after 16 minutes of football. This is pretty deplorable by the Darley Football. The reigning premiers in the Ballarat Football League after the darkest week, probably in nearly their history last week, have not come out to play this afternoon at the Eastern Oval. Cullen's kick gets it back from the kick in. Runs his full measure.
And a bit.
Gave it to a teammate, McDonald. He hacks one towards centre wing. And from the side, Whittaker takes a nice mark on his chest. Men in the middle. Decides he can go longer. Whittaker lines up a long ball. Atavi won't quite get there on this occasion. It's off hands and gone out of play.
Out of position. That wasn't a bad defensive punch by Reece Ellis, was it?
No, it wasn't. And I think
to get into the contest.
I think his transition to the defence has been all right this afternoon. But the ball's been there plenty enough for him to do plenty of things.
Yep.
Back underway. Tarvey wins it down. Puts his head over the football. Bilney coming through. Johnston in there once again for East Point, scrapping away. Ball spills free almost. Devils brought down in the tackle. Umpire says, I will ball it up at 25 metres out from goal. Here at the 17.5 minute mark. East Point kicking to the much more favoured eastern end of the ground. But they continue to be the dominant side on the park. Back underway. Round the body goes to Tarvey. High ball. Probably will fail to score. In the end, lucky enough for East Point. Pitches in the field of play. We'll get a ball in deep inside 50. No opportunity for them to try to hit the scoreboard here at the Eastern Oval. 11-16, 82, 3-4, 22. 60 points the margin. BFL game of the round. Back underway. Atavi wins it down, hacks forward.
Sunny Eastern Oval.
Yeah, the sun's back out here after a little bit of drizzle. Ball's going out of play. And another ball inside 50. In what is becoming an absolute clinic by the pointers here at the moment. Ball gets brought back in. Atavi knocks it to a dangerous position. Simmons around the body. And that's a lovely goal. Very nice, classy finish there by Daniel Simmons to make it even a greater margin. 66 points is that margin, and a nice finish on his left peg there from Simmons, who just continues to bob up for a goal every game he plays for the Pointers from the midfield. One of their more regular and consistent performers in East Point colours.
And without much opposition from the Darley Devils, Pointers have just about got to the magic number.
I'm nearly 10 individual goal kickers.
8.
That's what I want to hear, Barry Ag. You know I'm all about that kind of stuff. I'm sure Jackie Bridges will be too. Back underway. Sort of neutrally one down, taken away by Baker. I reckon that's the first time we'll see Darley enter their attacking half there through Kennedy. Good punch coming from behind. The captain Page has hacked it off the deck. Sort of obscure off their side of the boot and out of play. Yeah, and we'll get a ball in between the half forward line and centre wing on the broadcast side for the Darley Devils. The reigning premiers trail by 66 points here at the Eastern Oval. And we'll get the ball back in the field of play. Kerr and Martin do battle on this occasion. Neither ruckman touch it. Baker on the right side for him. Did get clean possession and send it inside 50. Good swirl coming in there from Payne. Ankrum flicked it over top to no one in particular. Robson running through was brought to ground in a tackle. And it looks like East Point will be able to lock it up in their defensive 50. Try to give you a score update from other games in just a moment. So we're back underway. Sucked clear by the Pointers. Herring got boots of ball, but only went as far as Payne. High ball coming out of the East Point defence. Leonard slipped over in the greasy conditions. The ball trickled out of play. In the game down to CE Brown Reserve, it says Lake Windarega 3-8-26 to Sunbury's 3-5-23. Melton are 4-10-34 leading North Ballarat City 4-5-29. Bacchus Marsh kicked away against Sebastopol 9-12-66. Sebastopol 6-3-39. And Redan Football Club 7-13-55 lead Melton South 4-5-29. So Redan looking likely, Barry Ake, to register their first victory in season 2018. So we'll keep you a close update and eye on that one there for Lions fans.
Did we discuss that match? I can't recall.
Well, we did a little bit.
Did we?
Yeah, we thought the Panthers would make it back-to-back, but they're proving us wrong at the moment. Back underway. Nesta off the deck. So was Brown. Coming through was Cullen. And he's dived on top of the football in the centre of the Eastern Oval in the end. We will get a ball up as we play 21 minutes of football in this third term between East Point and Darley Football Club. 66 points is the margin. Martin wins it down. Thornton's kick was partially smothered. Diving in there was the big fella in Martin, the debutant. Taken away by Page. Dribbling ball towards the outer side. Nesta might get there first. Was bumped off it nicely by Robson. And inside 50, Patterson sends the ball for the Devils. They've got some runners here. Do Darley. One of them's Harley Inglis. Put his head down. And the umpire said he was pushed in the back. And a free kick will go the way of Darley. An opportunity for Harley Inglis to register his first major.
Has not really featured much today, has he?
And if he can kick truly, we'll answer a run of 5 unanswered goals. Gave it off to Herring instead. Blazes away, and if that doesn't sum up the game so far for the Devils, I don't know what will. Out on the full to the near side. Pretty poor effort on the goals. Can't
understand why Harley didn't have a shot.
Kick across goal is a good one from East Point. Finds his way to Simmons in his defensive left back pocket. And he plays on the left footer, looking for McDougall in a one-on-one. He's happy to see over the back numbers with the Devils side. They can probably send it straight back into their attacking 50. McDonald's sold a bit of candy, runs his full measure, gets his kick away, looking for Ziggy at the back, but a double fist spoil coming from there from Tongue, and the other one looked like it was Gallagher coming from the side, knock it out of play. We'll get a ball in, almost just inside 50. For the Devils. And interesting to see that Paul Kotorenko, Barry Aggs, probably put an ice in his third term.
I was just going to say that...
Hasn't featured for quite a while in the ruck contest. Martin wins it down. Rest the older bodies up. Delhay got boots of ball. Inside 50 it goes. Ingles trapped it. Maybe got fell in the back of. Umpire said nothing doing. Baker got boots of ball. Sends it to the tip of the goal square. Off hands. Van Meel. Hacked out mid-air by East Point. From the side was Robson, almost brought it down. Ball still alive, inside 50. Quick kick from Taylor. Numbers at the back here for the Devils. Leonard has to be quick. Got his kick away just in time. Mika Rottenon's getting back. Maybe got one high, and he did. Spoil just...
I thought there should have been a free kick there anyway.
Could have been for the tackle carrying on, Barry Ake. But in the end, it's a free kick. East Point in the half-back line. Our man Mika towards centre wing. Jordan Johnson just used the body cleverly.
Pushed into it.
Did well. Joy Johnston plays on, sends a high ball towards centre half forward. Tough one to mark. Otari nearly brought it down, trying to slap it to his teammates in Vange and Bilney. He couldn't quite get boots the ball. Devils do clear. High ball towards centre wing, punch from behind by Mika. But getting there is Herring, been one of the Devils' best this afternoon, and he wins a free kick on this occasion. Darley, centre wing broadcast side. Got Patterson on the outer side by himself if he can find him. Just sits up for him. Chips it over top. Stephen Kennedy got some room to move. Takes the mark. In between half forward and centre wing outside 50. A good looking kick. Did he fall on the back? Umpire said nothing doing. Still alive. Edwards puts the head down. And we'll get locked up just inside the paint. Nothing going away of the Devils in this term. Yet to register a score. And we played 24.5 minutes in the third term.
I'm going to have to get a new rule book, I think.
Back on the way. Good to see Kotorenko after a bit of a spells back out there for the Pointers. Could feature heavily in the votes we give post-game. Back underway. Just a little prelude.
Did you say could or should?
Well, I think he will. Back underway here. Ball tip of the goal square for the Devils. And we'll get a ball up at 20 out from goal.
I was going to make a comment. You take one certain ruckman out of this contest, and I'm glad I'm not trying to have to pick a best on ground.
We'll get a ball up at 30. Kerr wins it down this occasion. At East Point get the clearance though. Quick kick coming there from Sevens towards the outer side, bouncing on its point and towards the boundary line. Somehow staying in the field of play. And remarkably, McConaughey might be able to string this forward for the point as Alice gets across just to provide a bit of defensive support and see it out of bounds.
Well, they got another 40 metres out of it.
We're 12 for the pointers, who are 12, 16, 88, leading Darley's 3-4, 22, a 66-point margin here at the Eastern Oval, which once again, in some beautiful sunshine. Back on the way, Whitaker wins it down this occasion. Only as far as McDonald. Quick kick coming from the Devils forward. Hanson used the body. Legally, said the umpire. Dahlberg to Kotorenko. He gets his kick away. 55-metre punt down the line. McDougall's happy to see it over the back. Bouncing ball towards 50 is beaten by the boundary line. We'll get a ball in, which will feature just inside the paint for East Point here at the 26-minute mark of the third term. 5 unanswered goals at the moment by East Point. And remarkably, 11 shots in this term. Maybe even more by now. Patterson got his kick away towards Herring, and the boundary line is nearby, and in the end it'll go out of play, virtually opposite from our broadcast position on the outer side. We'll be getting a ball in at the 26.5 minute mark. 12-16, 88, Darley's 3-4, 22 here on BFL Game of the Round 979 FM. And we're back underway. Kotorenko wins it down. Johnson couldn't quite gather in his time. Darley player was stripped of the football, and umpire says that it was legally stripped of it, and the ball's gone out of play, and we'll get a ball in once again on the outer side. Looking ahead for the Devils, they have Bacchus Marsh next week, and East Point will play North Ballarat City in the future matches in round 12 football next week. But round 11 football sees East Point very strongly leading the Devils as the ball's still locked up on the outer side of the ground here at the Eastern Oval.
Just got a score from the Riddle District League.
As we've got a free kick going the way of the Devils. It's going to go the way of Abraham Kerr.
And my man on the ground has only given me one side. Diggers Rest 9-7 for 3 points. But I don't know who they're playing.
Oh, that's all right.
Thanks, Jack.
Mark intercepted and taken by Bilney, centre half back. Bilney can go short into the middle. He's got Brown by himself. He'll load up in the centre of the Eastern Oval. A high ball inside 50 he goes. McDougall and Alice, punched away by Alice. Towards the boundary line on the other side. Our man Mika picks it up. Wheels on a dime. Sends it towards McDougall once again. Ball still alive. Lovick couldn't quite find some space on that occasion. Patterson just hacking it forward. Got his way to Kerr. And gave it to the speedy Dallahay. And Dallahay gave it off to a teammate. Darley worked this by hand. Handball in towards the centre of the Eastern Oval, but a free kick for a hole has been paid and it's going to go the way of the Devils. And Spiteri can go short to the outside. Mark is taken out there by Darley.
Dallahay, is it?
And he can look inside, looking for Patterson. He marks on his chest. And got one on the chops on the way through, and says it's a 50-metre penalty. So Patterson will be right inside 50. An opportunity to kick Darley's first score of the third term.
I'm going to buy land off him.
I would too.
What do you reckon?
There's a few.
70?
A few. Did a bit of distance in that one. It's going to result in Jesse Pattinson having an opportunity pretty much directly in front and should at least score, you'd imagine, for the Devils for the first time in the third term. Basically directly in front. Patterson starts his slow approach to the goal face. Kick is on its way. And it is a minus score. 3-5-23. Darley trail East Point's 12-16, 88. A 65-point margin here on BFL Game of the Round.
Not as good as a major, but at least it's a score.
Like I say, have scored against the Breeze in this term. Tongue, long kick towards the outside. Whitaker from the side, bounced off his chest. Quick kick from Dallahay, wobbles inside 50. Payne's getting back for the point as he marks it on his chest. As we approach 30 minutes in this third term, Payne's going to be called to play on. stumbled his way. Now he's caught, and now the umpire said just play on. He said he disposed of it. Almost a costly mistake. Ball still alive. Darley with the handball at the back. Big tackle applied by the Pointers. And in the end, we'll get a ball up on the half back line for East Point. Now 30 minutes has gone. 65 points the margin. We are back underway. Our man Mika wrapped up in the tackle. Ball spills free. Pinballing between a couple of players. Kick goes towards the outside. Not the required journey. Slick handball almost found target for East Point. In the end, we'll get a umpire should come in and sort this out, and he does, so we get a ball up. Somewhere in between the half back line and centre wing on the other side for the Pointers. They lead by 65 points on BFL Game of the Rounds. Knocked down once again by Kodarenko and the Pointers. Bit of a scramble. Darley happy just to lock it up and choose some seconds of the clock because they know that they are probably going to be trailing by quite a hefty margin going into the final term. Neither ruckman touched it. Lovick's quick kick goes forward. Bouncing ball towards the half forward flank. At the back there is Cullen. He's going to be confronted. Spun out of the tackle nicely. Found Alice. Got Patterson across half back if he can use him. They'll gather the football in defensive 50. Sends it a high ball to really no one in particular. And McConaughey just sits under there, takes a nice mark on his chest.
Good gutsy effort.
Couldn't be too long left. Got a loose man streaming inside 50. I think it's Brad Whitaker. And he's able to hit him up on the chest. Whitaker marks about 45 out from goal and about a 45-degree angle.
Pretty hard to miss that frame, isn't it?
And the big fella, I think, has just got the one major so far, Barry Ag,
yep.
but he can make it 2 at the 32-minute mark when he shoots.
This is not beyond him either.
So Whitaker will come in. He'll kick from just inside the paint. Brad's kick is on its way. It's pretty good.
Number 2.
And it's a game-high 71-point margin here at the moment at the Eastern Oval, thanks to a goal from Brad Whitaker. 13-16-94 leads 3-5-23 here on BFL Game of the Round. And a late goal from Brad Whitaker here just continues to continue on what's been another dominant term by East Point here at the Eastern Oval. Very, very good stuff, isn't it, from the Pointers, Barry Ag?
Well, it is, and it justifies their position on the ladder.
Yes.
It's no fluke because, as I said, I thought they were harshly done by last week. But
well, we're back on the way on the outside. Spiteri trying to drive it forward off the ground. Go the Devils towards the half-forward flank. Bouncing in front of Jakey Edwards, and in the end he's unable to keep the ball in the field of play. But yes, it's also a completely different sort of game that we saw to last week, Barry. It was a very open, exciting, free-flowing game between the Pointers and Sunbury, where this one's been a real slog.
Yep.
Big
punch.
And one dominated by the Pointers, Kodarenko. Towards Bilney. Siren has just sounded to signal 3/4 time here on BFL Game of the Round, thanks to Contact Real Estate, the score.
Players that have been running around the ground today because it is not a good place to be out there today.
And remember, change there, Darren Lennon into the ruck for the Darley Devils and won it down. Tongue trying to break free with the hand pass, couldn't quite do so. In the end, we'll get a ball up in the centre of the Eastern Oval once again. Kodarenko just got rid of Lennon in the ruck. Quick kick trying to come from Mika. Coming through was Tongue, sends it inside 50. Go East Point. Whitaker tried to knock it on to his teammates' advantage. Running free there was Carrick, and a good use of the football mark should be taken by Cullen. He'll wheel around towards the centre back position to find Lennon.
Cross the ground.
And to complete the switch, he will find a man in McDonald. Good start here by the Devils. They pump it towards a vacant 50.
Nobody home,
but no one is there because it is completely vacant of Darley players. East Point getting across, knocking it towards the boundary line, and we'll get a ball in on the outer side of the Eastern Oval. Inside 50 now for Darley, who trail by 71 points here at the moment, Barry Ag.
They have run a lot of changes, haven't they?
Just pretty much flip the magnets, Barry Ag, it looks like.
I think somebody's dropped the magnet board and
and just put players wherever they needed to go. And this one here is Lennon in the ruck. We actually started all right in this term against Paul Kodarenko, knocked it towards the boundary line, but the umpire will come in and ball it up once again.
Is that Spiteri on the forward line up there too?
Looks like it could be Lee Spiteri down there. Yes, Barry Ag?
Got
Really the only constant there is Jake Edwards in the defensive goal square,
Yeah.
but Kerr's gone down there as well.
Kennedy's still on the forward line, or
Leonard-
on the ball rather.
Umpires picked out a throw from the right.
Basketball, or what's he talking?
Free kick going over the way of Darley.
Is that Delahaye? Or
I
Pagey?
think it's Shane Page on about 55 from goal. We have the journey in him. Decides to send a long ball to the goal square. Kerr from the side. Ball at the back. Edwards up the
Jakey!
deck. And the opening goal of the final term is going to go away of Jake Edwards
Just
and
to-
the way of the Darley Football
Just to
Club.
break the monotony.
Finally getting the first major of a term.
And guess what?
Winning a quarter.
Darley have got a
Got a multiple goal kicker today,
multiple
Barry.
goal kicker.
In Jake Edwards, 2 of the afternoon, 1 there coming from the goal line. Couple minutes into the opening term, 4-5-29 they trail. East points, 13-16, 94,
I
65
think you
points
have
the
to give a
margin.
big assist there to Abe Kerr. Bring
Crash-
the ball to ground.
Crash the back, ball got the back, and Edwards was able to soccer it from the goal line. And kicks his second. We're back underway here at the Eastern Oval. Kodorenko flies down and wins it for the Pointers.
Just, but
Only
he won
just
it, yep.
been challenged in the ruck by Lennon. I like the move.
Yes.
He's one for a kick here, Paul Kodorenko, in the middle of Eastern Oval and can load up for the Pointers. Gave it up to Matty
Handball's
Johnston.
option. Yep.
Johnston goes towards the outside half-forward flank, but the kick's kind of in directed. Nesta will arrive there late for the Pointers. Still one,
Oh! Had to be a scoop.
but
no.
the ball was out of play, Barry Aggs, so we'll get a ball in on the half-forward line for East Point on the outer side. 13-16, 94. They lead to Darley's 4-5-29 BFL game of the round 9-7-9 FM. And the umpire will throw us back underway.
The one with the unusual haircut, who I really feel sorry for.
Cold afternoon for him, most certainly, as we're back underway. Handball by Dalberg to Johnson, who slipped as he received the handball and was pinned on the ball for doing so. Free kick going the way of the Devils.
Feel sorry for him because whatever side he's on, that's the side they're choosing to play along.
Robson, who's
No rest.
beneficiary for the Darley Devils from the tackle. Good looking kick.
That's a nice
Ankrum.
lead and a nice grab.
Nice mark taken by him on the outer side. Looks in towards the corridor.
Got an option? No.
Big fist come there from Bilney. Crushed the back nicely. Delahaye broke one, then evaded a couple of other tackles, and then the kick was
That's
pinpoint.
nice, yeah. What?
Umpire said it didn't require the full journey, and now East Point can send it towards the middle of the ground, but Stratton has overtaken the mark on his chest.
Swanee.
Ziggy sends it inside 50. Kerr's his intended target, too big for him. Kennedy at the back, dances on a dime, handball to Evans, fumbled a crucial one.
Spent it before he got it.
Still got the kick forward though.
But who to?
Now Stephen Kennedy got a loose man wide and Pattinson. Handball over the top. Got loose man everywhere at the moment, the Devils. Round the body goes Robson. And it's across the face. Minor score to
Should
Darley.
have done better there.
4-6-30 to East Point's 13-16-94.
First 2 scoring shots.
East Point would love to put Darley away and keep that percentage nice and high. Of course, just a hot on the heels of Bacchus Marshall on top of the ladder in the Ballarat Football League. Quick kick in the way of Lovick. And he spears one down on nicely to Brady Whittaker, who's had a very good second half to date so far. Building a game nicely for the Pointers. That kick went about 7 metres, but the umpire paid the mark to McDougall. He goes for a run and gives it back to the man who gave it to him in Thornton. Thornton goes for a run. Short kicks a good one to Taylor. He marks on his chest. Geordie Taylor.
Have we called him much today? I can't.
The
recall.
ex-Mount Clear Junior goes wide with a kick. Finds Whittaker.
Oh.
He got boot to ball. Bouncing one unkind for Johnston. Went without it. Darley in there with Stone. Flicked out an underground hand pass looking for Delahaye. Cullen got across and was able to see it out of play nevertheless for the Devils.
Been impressed with him, Cullen.
Battled hard in
Yeah.
defence all afternoon. Been swung forward in this
And-
final term.
Without a lot of assistance.
Been a lot of repeat entries from East Point and tough to deal with for the Darley defenders. Back in the way, Collering got sucked behind him, but Patterson was the only man there for the Devils. Found Kennedy. Now Spiteri in the middle of the Eastern Oval, dribbling kick towards the half-forward line. Ankrum trying to get down low and pick up the football. Payne on his back. Umpire circling, ball comes free. In the end, it might be balled up, I would say, and it is, in between the centre half-forward position and the middle of the Eastern Oval towards Darley's attacking end of the ground, which is the Peel Street end, the eastern end of this football oval. And we will get things back underway. Kerr flew high, but
Got
in
the
the
tap
end,
down, I thought.
One down away by Spiteri. Umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball up one more time. Virtually in the same position as before. 13-16-94. That's East Point leading Darley's 4-6-30. Back on the way. Martin went high. The first game for East Point. Won it down. Quick kick goes towards Johnson. He's in a 1-1 with Evans. Been a fascinating battle between those two all afternoon. Taylor gets away from Patterson and sends a wobbly one inside 50. Alice back with the flight.
Tried hard.
Couldn't quite complete the mark.
Good smother.
Yes, Alice smothering Whitaker's kick there. And then Big Brad follows up with a good tackle. In the end, umpire should lock this up on the half-forward line and does so.
And I don't know whether he's chasing kicks, but it looks as though they've swung Harley onto the ball too. Harley Inglis.
Had a very quiet afternoon for free standards, Harley Inglis. And he'll be the first one to tell you that. Knocked down by Kodorenko inside 50.
No, he'd be the second one to tell us.
He'll be the first one, Barry.
His old man.
Yeah, of course he would. Back underway inside 50 here for East Point. Still alive. Trying to flick at the hand pass here now is Taylor. Found McConaughey. He sends a long one towards the dangerous there. Brown from the side almost brought it down. Ball still alive inside 50 for the Pointers. Big tackle applied by McDougall. Getting through is Mika Rotten. Honest flying shots on goal. Free kick's been picked out though. It's going the way of Darley. And the way it looks like of the vice captain Darren Leonard for a sling tackle.
Bryson
McDougall cannot believe it. He's pleading his case. Still asking, what more do you want me to do? But free kick going the way of the Devils. In the full-back position, the vice-captain of Darley and Leonard. Kick is out wide.
Oh.
Looking for Spiteri. Dropped the mark he should have taken. Was able to give it back to our loose teammate in Evans. Wobbly kick. Was in the Kerr direction. Slipped through Martin's fingertips.
That's nice, Kerr.
Zoten without it. Bilney came through, hacking off the ground. Saw the football. Page gets away from it. Wobbly kick. Baker able to extract, and his kick is to a one-on-one. It wasn't to Edwards' advantage though. Carson's will get there first, and the boundary line will beat him there too.
And Jake's asked the question, but
not much he could do running full tilt there on that occasion.
Now you had a chance to have a look at Jake.
Sorry, that was Van Meel actually. Sorry.
What did you think? You reckon he might be carrying?
Could be carrying something. Doesn't seem to be in his full stride.
He's not stretching out, is he?
Like he normally does. Off the deck go East Point, and then the hands of Matty Johnson, who's been terrific once again for the Points this afternoon. High ball towards centre wing. 1-on-1 here with Johnston and Jordan. Tongue will come through. Got the handball toward Geordie Johnston, was out of play, and the ball's gone out of play. And of course, Geordie Johnston, unfortunately for his luck, he was cut from the Vic Country squad, which is playing at Mars Stadium tomorrow morning.
I forgot. Yes, congratulations, mate.
No, we don't need to talk about that, but game is going
we do.
back underway. Leonard won it down. Dalberg, I was just saying that Johnston was one of the last few cut from that illustrious squad, which we might talk about in just a moment. Back underway. Kennedy went without it, brought down in a good tackle. Dalberg finds a man in Simmons. He sends a long wobbly ball. Going to be a tough one for Alice to deal with, but he's able to meet it with full tilt.
Dropped it.
Left it behind. Maybe a high tackle. Umpire says nothing doing. But the Darley defender had no prior opportunity. He says we'll get a ball up in between centre
waiting for the ball up. Yeah, congratulations. On your call up. A request from the AFL, and you agreed to do it.
Yes,
well done, mate.
Yes,
congratulations.
AFL Vic Country's under 19s versus the Vic Metro tomorrow from our stadium. Tune in there at 11:30 through the AFL Victoria website. Back underway. Quick handball there coming from Thornton. In there was Taylor. Went without it. And the umpire's going to come in and give a ball once again.
Now, I did also send a message to Kirsty.
Yes.
Mentioned something about a missing lanyard.
Oh, yes.
So hopefully...
might actually get one this time, unlike the last time when we were at the interleague game at MCG. That's all right. I'm not filthy about that at all. Back on the way, McConaughey was sending inside 50, looking for a tar. He just couldn't quite bring it down on this occasion. Brown put the head down, driving his way through, and the umpire says you took him on when you drove your head through, Jacob, and that's holding the ball. Free kick away at the Devils.
No, it's nice to see that other people recognise how good you are, mate.
Yeah, someone has to, I guess, besides myself.
Oh, hey. You and I.
Alice looks towards the outside. It's a dangerous and bad kick, to be honest. Turned over. Thornton lines them up from 45, near side minus score. 13-17-95. East Point moved to Darley's 4-6-30.
Orientated. Gutsy.
65 points the margin.
And their first score
of this term. haven't won 4 quarters in one match this year. That was the challenge laid out by Jake
It
Edwards.
doesn't look as though they're going to at this stage.
Mark taken by Reece Ellis at the 11.5 minute mark, about 30 out from his defensive goal.
And the way it's going, we might... Oh!
Had his captain paid short and nearly missed his foot with the kick. Still might work out to Stratton getting boots the ball. Slipped through the fingertips of McConaughey. Kerr
Nice, yes.
decided he didn't want to pick it up and just socketed it backwards to a teammate who was taken over the line, and we'll get a ball in between centre wing and the half-forward flank broadcast
I thought the
side.
intent was good.
I liked the little clever thing about it.
Yep.
I've been watching plenty of the World Cup overnight, obviously, Ava and Kerr.
Like somebody else?
Yeah, like one truly here. Good to see Belgium going through. That was very nice this morning. As Korenko, big slap towards the boundary line. Umpire says that's fine. We'll get another ball in the same position. Just another hit out for the veteran Paul Kodorenko today.
And it is good to see Cotter in good physical being.
He's had a lot of injuries over June, of course, especially with that right knee.
Yeah, it was
High tackle, should be a free kick going the way of Lovick and the way of East Point. 65 from goal.
Wasn't last year, the year before, I think, which would be 16 when he had to withdraw from the interleague side because...
Correct. Well, Lovick takes him on, runs the 50, spearing ball inside 50, looking for Jordan Johnson. A good body sport and getting across there was the ever-reliable Captain Courageous Shane Page, knocking out of play at the 12.5 minute mark with his final term.
But I understand that he had to withdraw from the side because his body wasn't up to playing another game of football. He wouldn't have recovered in time.
Back on the way, our man Mika stepped through some traffic, sends a high ball towards the tip of the goal square, punched from the side by the Darley Devils, and it's gone out of play, and we'll get a ball in deep inside 50, 13-17-95. That is East Point leading the Darley Devils 4-6-30.
Apart from the fact that ball has been down at East Point's end most of this quarter, which is a non-scoring end, which is disappointing for Darley.
East Point just had a bad opening few minutes this term and then back to their merry way so far. Robson tried to get through, was caught. Umpire said play on. Our man Miko went without it. Raiding traffic is Evans. Handball to no one in particular. East Point might get a snap on goal and and it's Geordie Taylor gets boot to ball. The number 37 from East Point gets his first major of the afternoon here, and I think levels things up on the scoreboard for the term. Barry Ag 1-1 apiece, I think.
Mate. You're spot on again.
No
one of the AFL changed.
Yeah, well, they just got to keep my eye on these sort of things. I want to see they do answer the challenge of Jakey Bridges and at the 14-minute
mark. While we're waiting for the ball to come back to the centre, I noticed on the scoreboard before 14th of July is the East Point annual. Oh, here it comes up here, annual ball. So I'm assuming there's still tickets available for it?
Yes, and I'm sure you can see the appropriate people at the football club for that. And too many people in the square for Darley's resulting in a free kick for East Point. This is Brown. He marks 65 from goal. We'll send the long ball inside 50. Darley got men in the back, though, behind the football, and one of them is Jackson Carrick, the ex-VFL Rooster. He's able to take the mark on his chest. Kicks it into the man of Mark Darren Atari, kick is partially smothered. Stone, so a bit of a calamity of errors there. And in the end, Darley get that kick away. Brown got across, got a good fist in there, and out of play it goes.
It is Joe, isn't it?
Joel Atari.
Yeah, he's just not had one of those days, has he?
A very funny day in the forward line today for East Point. Could have easily been walking away half a dozen or so of his name.
I can clean it up. Everything I touch turns to crap.
Yeah, pretty much sums up his afternoon of football in East Point colours, coming back from VFL duties last week with the Essendon VFL side.
At least he plays for a good side. Well, he plays for two good sides.
He's actually played reasonably well at Harvey. It's been a game.
Hasn't had one of those.
Just hasn't had that final thing to really make it go off for him. If he walked off with 6, no one would be really surprised.
No.
Back underway, we'll go here on the half-forward flank out of side for East Point. Quick tap went as far as Hansen. In there is Lovick. His teammate Taylor slipped at the crucial moment. Robson, who hasn't stopped trying for the Devils on the outer side, is wrapped up in tackle, and we'll go ball up back to a game high 71-point margin here.
And as you said, if you walked off with 6, you wouldn't be surprised. And if you walked off and said, "Oh, I got 1," you'd be surprised that he hasn't got 6.
Yes, exactly, Barry. Well summed up there. Kodorenko once again did well in the ruck. And the ball sort of moved in between the half-forward line and centre wing on the other side now, and we'll get another ball up. Another stoppage in this match. Been plenty of them which means we're in for another long final term here.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not.
The wishful thinking doesn't work. Harley Inglis gets a kick towards centre forward. Bounce over its head. Martin elected to knock it down to Gallagher. Gallagher has to get his kick away and does. It's going to come towards the broadcast side wing, and in the end it's going to trickle out of bounds. His kick was probably only really for one spot, but they're not going to get it, and we'll get a ball in.
Well, as I keep saying, it doesn't hurt to ask. And
they only say no.
And if you keep asking, you're going to get one eventually, aren't you?
Umpire brings it back into the field of play. Kerr arrived late, maybe pushed him in the back. Umpire said no. Simmons gets his kick away towards centre wing. Johnston was held back by Evans.
I thought they were both.
And he's taken over the line, and we'll get a ball in right in front of the broadcast position here. But that's been a matchup I've enjoyed this afternoon. Geordie Johnston and Tom Evans.
Yep.
I think Evans might take the points away with him in defence today. I think he's done a pretty good job. There's a bit of push and shove between those two continue, and we're back underway. Ball at the back. Coming through as Payne, went without a good handball applied there by Baker to Kerr. Now Kennedy puts the Jets on, gets away from one, spearing ball looking for Edwards on the lead, had arms all around him, should be a free kick. They've got advantage to be paid, and the kick towards Page in the goal square was just erected a minor score.
Now you call it back.
Umpire says no, the clear advantage was taken, and not bring it back. A minor score to the Darley Devils. Long kick from Tongue out of the fence. Alice arrives late, got across. Maybe looking for the 7-point play. In the hands of Inglis. Sends it to the hot spot. Ankram's by himself. Should mark on his chest and does. And at the 18-minute mark,
zoom.
It'll be Jakey Ankram directly in front.
That's why you're one of the best in the business, mate. Calling the old 7-point play.
Directly in front. 30 metres out on a slight ankle.
Confident?
We'll be very confident. I roped him up early in the game and he let me down. But this time I'm going to say Jakey Ankram can get the job done. Probably needs to kick the goal to retain his spot on the side in a lot of ways. Ankram, he comes in with the kick and gets it home. And the two-time premiership player from the Devils gets the major here to reduce the margin ever so slightly here at Eastern Oval. 5-7-37, that's Darley trailing East Points 14-17, 101, a 64-point margin on BFL game of the round.
More importantly, has taken the quarter back off the pointers.
It certainly has, and that's all we're looking for in this final term is see if East Point can win.
We've got to try and
all 4 terms. Devils trying to take some pride back down the highway in this final term with the goal there to Ankram. We're back underway.
In all honesty, would you be that disappointed if you were Dan Roy or Travis Minns at the moment as the assistant coaches? I thought their endeavour's been there today. It's been our class.
Been our class by a much far better side. East Point, in my opinion, making a massive statement in the Ballarat Football League this afternoon, demolishing the reigning premiers and Darley Football Club here at the Eastern Oval.
But who have been unfortunately decimated by injury.
In there now
but
is Johnston. Umpire said he was held without it. So Geordie Johnston opportunity to load up and drive the Pointers once again into attack. Short ball's a good one. Delberg dropped one he probably should have taken. Then he handballed it to himself. Still enough time though. Then the loose man. East Point send one towards centre forward. Mark is taken by Daniel Simmons. Wheels around that trusted left. Long ball to the goal face.
Good.
Instant response by the Pointers. And by the ex-St Joey's midfielder, Daniel Simmons kicks his second goal of the afternoon. Very nice finish from him. As we tick in the time on the final term.
Was that Joel that shepherded it through?
Was Atabi.
And what a great team effort that was on his behalf. Could quite easily have gone for it himself, but shepherded it through and made sure it was there.
And we're back to a 70-point ball game here on BFL Game of the Round. 15-17, 107 to 5-7-37. BFL Game of the Round 979 FM.
And the quarter's halved again.
Back underway. Handled by Pattinson. Was looking there for Inglis. Went without it. Ball at the back there for Leonard. He sweeps the handball out towards Delahaye. Looking for a teammate on the outside is Leonard once again, but he went without it. Ball ping-bongs in between a couple. Delahaye sweeps one over the top. Taken away by... Looks like it was Payne on the other side.
Was that Harley?
Looks like it might have been Inglis getting down low there and getting the fingertips on the football. And in the end, it goes off hands and played the 21-minute mark on the other side.
Don't they realise, these guys realise how old I am and my eyesight's diminishing? Get over this side of the ground, fellas.
Virtually opposite from our commentary position on the outer side of the ground. The ball will be brought back into the field of play, and it is. One down by Martin, the two 15s, and doing the ruck there, Martin and Leonard. Quick kick by the Devils in towards the centre of the ground. Kerr coming through.
That was
nice. Slapped to the Cullens advantage. Got the kick off the ground. Numbers here with the pointers. Thornton tried to slap it forward. Ankrum came through. Left it behind. Bilney, who's been very good this afternoon for the pointers, gets his kick away. Whittaker in front and uses that big frame, takes a nice strong mark. Very good second half by Brad Whittaker here. Gives it to Mika Rotnonimus. He sends it inside 50.
Joel.
At the back, stayed down was McDougall. He's kicked 3. He's now got 4. And the Points have the lead in the final term, Barry Ag.
Yes, they certainly do.
16-17, 113. That is East Point leading the way to Darley's 5-7-37, a 76-point margin, a game-high margin, and now a 4th goal to Bison McDougall here at the 22-minute mark of the final term. Very nicely done, and 4 goals last week for McDougall was very impressive against Sunbury, and he continues on his merry way and moves his way up the goal kicking tally now towards 23, the highest by any East Point player in the Ballarat Football League. Back underway. Martin wins it down. Johnson applies a big tackle on the Devils midfielder there, and the umpire says, "Give it to me, I will ball it up." It's 16-17, 113, 5-7-37. BFL game there at 979 FM. Back underway. Quick kick coming from Hanson. High one towards the half-forward line. Punch from the side by Gallagher. Ball still alive. Ankrum gave it off to Patterson. Patterson loads a long ball up towards a vacant goal square, but it's gone across the face for a minor score. 75 points now to margin on BFL game of the rounds. 5-8-38 trails. 16-17, 113. Of course, next week we will have the Darley Devils once again on broadcast here on 979 FM as they take on traditional rivals Bacchus Marsh in the game at Darley Park. Alice's kick goes inside 50, should be cut off or slipped through the fingertips of the East Point defender. Edwards off the ground, coming through here is a Darley midfielder in Page. Robson around the body, hits the woodwork. Another poster. That's about the 4th or 5th we've seen this afternoon, Barry Ag.
All up that end.
Simmons wants to play him quickly towards Lovick. Over top of the hand pass, finds Dallenberg. He gets a short kick. Mark is taken there by Thornton. It's a good build-up play by the Pointers. Go wide. Fenton got across, and he got a fist in there for the Devils. The ball goes out of play and right from our broadcast position. Here's centre wing.
Fellas, I can see you.
We'll get the ball in, and Barry Ag's eyesight will be very thankful. Of course, a regular at Specsavers in Milton. Back underway. We'll get the ball in. Leonard got a fingertip on there. Off the deck went Simmons towards the centre of the Eastern Oval. Coming through was Joy Johnson. Got one high in the contest. Would have hurt. Back underway though. Kept on moving. Devils trying to get this out of there through Page. Wasn't really tackled. It was more knocked to the ground by an incoming player. And in the end, the umpire's going to say, "Give it to me, I will ball it up" at the 25-minute mark of the final term. Darley's 5-9-39 trails. East Point 16-17, 113, a 74-point margin. Leonard knocked it down. Herring brought the ground by Nesta, but the umpire said he got him over the shoulder. Free kick going the way of the Devils. Herring gives up to Dallahay. He loves to run. Decides I'm going to just go for one. Gets his kick away just in time. Payne got across to get a spoil in there. Patterson.
Well read, Patter.
Patterson sends a wobbly one inside 50. Edwards and Van Meel on a one-on-one. And Van Meel's got the defence goal square to his advantage. In the end, they're forced to rush another behind East Point.
Now, Joel was been carrying on all day about not... I don't know. Probably Jake should have had about 4 or 5 free kicks for mine. I don't know how you saw it.
Not getting that one on that occasion. 16-17, 113, 5-10, 40. A 73-point margin back underway. Taylor on the broadcast wing. Good kick to Mika Rottenheimer. He takes the mark. Can wheel around to a loose man, but he kicked into the man of the mark. Still alive. Evans got boot to ball. McDonald's right in front of us here in the broadcast position. He's able to see it over the line, and we'll get a ball in right in front of us here at the 26-minute mark of the final term. Umpire throws the big one back in the field of play. Martin won it down. Taylor's had a lot of in this final term. He's on the bottom of the pack there, and we'll get another ball up centre wing broadcast side.
But as you said too, been impressed with Darren in this quarter in the ruck.
Just as maybe a future option for the Devils, maybe.
Yep.
And he did well there once again. Won it down, but straight to Looks like it was Lovick trying to get free, and it's been wrapped up in a tackle. And we'll get another ball up, centre wing broadcast side on BFL Game of the Round on 979 FM. Martin, maybe infringed, umpire let it go. Mika Rotnonis at the back. Go for a run, slip for the crucial moment. Got away just in time. Turnover. Page sends a wobbly ball inside 50. East Point player down, which is not good. I think it's Mika Rotnonis there holding his head.
Luther Baker's lost his footing too.
As the ball was inside 50 for the Darley. Payne, the clearing kick. Slipped through the fingertips of Page. Delahaye goes for that dashing run. Tries to draw a man in Page. He's taken
under the hammer.
And it was a River Hospital handball. Rottenheim's still down here too. Handball coming from Brown in one motion. Gave it to Dalberg. He'll go for a run. Took a bounce. Kick out towards centre half forward.
That's nice.
McDougall should mark. Too far at the score against the Breeze.
Looking for
Johnston in front. Was he infringed? Umpire said no. Ball still alive inside 54. The Pointers. And Darley are able to clear. They've got Reece Ellis as the outlet on the other side. He takes the mark on the half-back line. Sends it down the line. Kerr's in front and should mark and does so. Abraham Kerr, centre wing, opposite side of the ground from our commentary position. Looks for Ankrum. Good build-up play. A couple of targets
nice
hit.
Play.
Jakey Ankrum sends it inside 50. Edwardson a one-on-one. It's a good kick. Bounced off his chest. Kennedy's got a loose man to Stratton over the top. Kick is a good one. And Ziggy takes the mark.
Keep running, Shane.
In the end, Stratton, he's 25 metres out, pretty much directly in front.
Have a look, he's got nobody in front, in between him and the goals.
I know, Barry Egg, but Stratton's going to go back and kick his second, if he can, from directly in front.
Yeah, well, Shane would have taken a mark in the goal square and made sure of it, wouldn't he?
He very much could have, Barry Egg, as Stratton is directly in front.
I hope Swanee kicks it, but...
Our man Ziggy comes in and pops through his second goal of the afternoon for the Darley Football Club. 6-10-46. They move to East Point 16-17, 113, and their quarter momentum swings back towards the Devils, Barry Egg. Something for maybe them to take away, and something maybe Dan Roy and Travis Mings can talk about post-game to the Devils Chargers in the rooms here.
Gives the quarter back to Darley. 29
minutes have surpassed now in this final term.
Oh, yes, Trev. Exaggerating again.
Just saying, man. And we probably only have moments left of this final quarter here at the Eastern Oval. Back underway, wrapped up between a couple of players, and Ian Leonard's one of them. And we'll get a ball up once again in the middle.
Going to throw a pacifier in here too. Said before that Jake Edwards, I thought probably could have had about 6 free kicks, but he's been the only forward. But they've been consistent with the East Point forwards. And let the play go on. Yep. So
high ball from Page was then taken away by Robson. Robson sends it a long one to that man Edwards. Van Meel went through his fingertips, and in the end the ball's gone through for a minor score
and
to the Darley Devils.
You can ask, Jake. Well, you can ask.
I know we get a free kick and very unhappy with that. So is Barry Egg in the commentary box next to me here on BFL Game of the Round 979. Short kick out of defence will find Nesta. He can go for a run. The speedster looks towards the broadcast wing. We had Whittaker slipped over. Ball at the back, it falls. Geordie Johnston tried to knock it forward. Came for the boot of Fenton there. Went out of play, and we'll get a ball in pretty much in front of us here on the broadcast side. Not long left, you'd imagine. And we'll get the ball back in the field of play. Leonard got a fist in there. Dalberg will get their first vote for the Pointers. Tries to get away from Stratton. Gave it to Payne. Payne goes for a run. Tries to draw a man. Finds one. Sweeping handball's a good one for the Pointers. Over the top they go. Simmons. Left foot kick inside 50 with a wobbler one. Sits up for his teammate in Thornton. Tried to knock it on. Couldn't quite do so. Leonard gave it to Carrick. And Carrick just hacked the ball out of there. Robson's by himself and should mark on his chest and does. So Daniel Robson has Kerr at centre forward. That's where he goes. It's not going to matter, Barry Egg, as the siren has beaten them, and that signals the end of this match here from the Eastern Oval, and a very, very, very dominant performance by the Pointers here, Barry Egg, and thanks to Contact Real Estate, the scoreboard reads 16-17, 113 East Point, defeating Darley Football Club 6-11-47, Barry.
And just to keep ACMA happy, Contact Real Estate, High Street Melton, proud sponsors of 979.
Thank you very much,
yeah.
Barry
And
Egg.
goal kickers
yes.
for the pointers, McDougall 4, Atavi 1, Joe Johnson 2, Bradley Whittaker 2, Payne 1, Lovick 2, Matty Johnson 1, Simmons 2 and Taylor 1. And for Darley, Robson 1, Jakey Edwards 2, Ziggy Z Stratton 2 and Jakey Ankrum 1.
So a very, very good performance by the Pointers here in the Ballarat Football League.
And
we are past 5 o'clock,
we are
Barry
past,
Eggs.
so we won't keep you much longer, Jace. Next week, as Sammy has already mentioned, we will be at Darley Park for the big match.
Yes, the Devils
Crosstown match.
Yes, the Devils taking on
Cobras.
the Cobras at Darley Park, and that'll be our match for broadcast.
And hopefully we will have both presidents in the bus having a chat next week.
Yes, we'll be in the big yellow bus next week to call the action between the Darley Devils. We need to try to rebound after a very disappointing performance here at the Eastern Oval at Darley Park.
Yes. Once again, congratulations for tomorrow, mate. Have a good call.
No worries, Barry.
Of
course, great work today.
Deserved, mate, well deserved.
Great work today from everyone involved. Of course, Colin Vinton on the IT side of things.
Oh, have a look.
New equipment going very nicely. Ian Smith bracing the cold for us this afternoon, doing a great job.